Hi, everyone. It's really late. I couldn't sleep. So I tried to get like a shower and stuff, and I still can't sleep. Wait, is my thing on? Oh, it's on. Let me just bring it closer so you guys can hear me better. Hopefully that's better. Oh, wait, what crazy's up? Let's see what crazies are up. Casey and Marie. Yes, you guys. Hey. I can't sleep. I was like, I can't sleep. And I didn't want to like text any of my mods to be like, oh my God, Harlot, do you ever sleep? Harlot. I love you, Harlot. You're great. You can't sleep either. It's horrible. Hi, Margie. And then what happened was, oh, I'm falling over here. Okay. I'm sorry, my shirt's coming off. Hold on, let me fix myself. I literally just jumped up and was like, I'm throwing a shirt on and a bra. No, it and came down. You never can sleep. Me either, Ember. But I remember somebody on YouTube before was like, because I remember I said something like, oh, I was going to go live last night, but it was like 1 in the morning or something. And somebody was like, YouTube's 24 hours. And I was like, oh, yeah, I never thought of that. And people are like, if you can't sleep, there's other people out there that can't either. And I was like, how about that? Oh, look, I can't get anything right today. I have no makeup on. So please excuse me, like nothing. My lipstick is called Lip Stain, so it's from earlier. I like washed my face and it didn't come off. You and your kid fell asleep after school yesterday, so we're up super late. Oh my God, I used to do that all the time. But it's Friday, so who cares? All right, what's up, Coca-Cola? Where you been, Coca-Cola? I feel like we haven't seen you in a minute. Margie's here. Look, everybody can't sleep. What is going on? Who says I look great, Coca-Cola? You're crazy. I don't know. I just did this. I brushed my hair with my fingers and was like, oh, girl, you should put on some glasses because you have no makeup on. So let's see what happens. I can't believe, Harlot, you're up. I mean, I can believe you're up. I actually can believe you're up, Harlot. It's like me. I just can never sleep. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, I tell you. So I was like, what can I go do? And then I started cleaning. Oh, you know what I did, you guys? I made 5. It says, what does it say? They're right here. Where are they? Let me get one to show you. I made more shirts. Look, you guys, Dr. Vona approved. And it's got my signature. They don't look very like good. They're like very homemade. Look, are you ready? See how you could see over here? I had to use an X-Acto knife and stuff to cut everything out, but this is the thing. It took me forever to make each one of these. So I feel like whoever they go to should just know that there was like so much love put into these. I like ironed them, I washed them, I printed out the stuff, but I was so excited. So my first ones are going to my mods. So Harlot, I don't know because I haven't checked my email today. If anybody ever emailed me their address, I need address, Harlot. I need white or black and size. That's it, and I'll do the rest. But it's like the least I could do is give you guys a homemade shitty shirt that I made. But it literally took me forever to make each one. So just know that it was made with complete love and a little bit of frustration. I was like, at one point, I was like, oh, the hell with it. So I got the X-Acto knife. I was like, meanwhile, I wasn't allowed to play with these growing up because I had ADHD and my mom, I guess, was afraid I was going to cut myself. I don't know. So I was having a good old time over here. But at one point, I wasn't getting like good traction. So I started doing it like on the table. Whoops. It didn't like scratch, I don't think. I guess I'll find out. Whoops. Look at more people are coming in. People are awake. What's up, a homicide's daughter? How you doing? Casey's here. This is amazing. Shut the F up. Cuffy's here. Hi, Cuffy. Cuff you. I was this close to texting you to be like, "Are you awake?" But then I was like, "Is that so inappropriate?" Because it's like 1 a.m. I was like, yeah, story time, exactly. I was like, if it was before 1 a.m., I might have, but I felt like it was too late. So I'm like, just go live. And if they're awake, they'll come on. And if not, they won't. So I'm so glad you're awake, though, Cuffy. I'm not surprised. I'm a vampire, too. I get it. Me too. Oh my gosh. Deception Detective put on, he's got a new video on Daniel Martel. I'll have to watch that later. So there's some new gypsy stuff out. Wow, David stuff? Was Celeste in David's car back in February? Was Neil involved? Oh, well. I have a lot of things I could watch later. But today, I was like, I'm just going to, I could tell you what happened. So, wait, hold on. Hidden. I have to get this up. All right, so I was supposed to go live earlier, but then my daughter had they called it a surgery, but we were both laughing because she's had like 30 surgeries on her leg and it wasn't the same as her other surgeries. So we were like, I was like, "Are you sure it was a surgery?" We were laughing. But anyway, she has like stitches and stuff and it's on her breast. So it was just a whole big thing. So then today we had a little bit of an issue. So I could not go live today because, ooh, wait, hold on. Oh, even if you were the devil himself. Shut up, John. I can't. But yeah, so we had a little bit of an issue, and that's why I didn't come on earlier. But she's okay now. So we're good. You turn your volume off at night. I see. I do the same thing actually, and I tell my students because sometimes the way I have we do like Canvas. I don't know if you guys even know what that is, but if you have kids, they might use it. But it's like the learning management system that we use at most universities and colleges. And the way I have my notifications set up, it sounds almost like a text message when I get it. So I do the same thing, and I'm like, that way, if a student sends me a message, it's fine. I don't even care. But yeah. Yes, there's so much stuff going on today. I put mine on Do Not Disturb, and then I have my daughter's on there. But I think if you just call twice, it like overrides it. And of course, you have those a-hole friends that'll like do it twice just to. Oh, look, he was like, "No, you did not just go live and not call me." I thought he went upstairs for the night, but no. I feel bad sometimes when I put it on Do Not Disturb because I feel like people think that you put it on Do Not Disturb because you don't want them to disturb you. And then I start, "Hi, Rob." Wait, let's see. What is it? Robbie. There we go. If for some reason, Streamlabs only lets you see, like, not let you, but like, I guess I could make it bigger, but I have it smaller, so I couldn't see everything. So I had to like click on it on my side. But anyway, it was a crazy day today, but I do apologize because you know that if I say I'm going to do something, I am. And if I'm not, I always say there's probably something medical or they came and arrested me for something. God forbid, I'm just joking. But yeah, we had a little bit of a medical issue. And now I'm looking and I'm like, I have a hair issue. I have no makeup on. I'm lucky I put my bra on before I came down. Let's see. Oh, and Cuffy, remind me later. Remind me later that I said to remind me later. And I'll remember. It's like nothing about like you or anything. It's just if I was able to, like if I thought you were awake, I would have texted you about it. Let's see. Yes. Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. Yes. Oh, wait, you could shut off the thing that lets repeat callers break through? I didn't even know that you could do that, Harlan. It must be like it's probably like part of a new update, or I just didn't know about it. Because let's be honest, last night Kresha told me that all you have to do is hit your back and forth buttons to go like back and forth in the videos. I had no idea. I'm gonna have to look for it, Harlan. I had no idea. I'm like, meanwhile, I've been going like this, like real easy to try to get to where I was going. And I had no idea. Yes, so many. On her legs. Well, yeah, both legs, but mostly the one. She's had limb lengthening 4 times. They're like a year-long procedure. That's another reason I don't counsel, is because when she was born missing her fibula, ankle, and last 2 toes on the right side. So she has like half of her foot, and her foot's like smaller and thinner. And anyway, about 30 doctors wanted, no, 14. I just said 30 because I said 30 surgeries, and it's like, but 14 doctors wanted to amputate. Actually, one at CHOP wanted me to abort her for medical research 1 week before it was like whatever the cutoff is, it was like the week of. And I was like this big. She was like moving. It was just crazy. I was like, wait, what? And my mom was like, what's happening? So, and it got me so nervous that I gave birth 3 weeks later. So I gave birth over 2 months early. But I swear it's because I was so nervous. But they said that she probably had neurofibromatosis, and that's what the elephant man had with like the big tumors and stuff. So he said like that with they call her leg thing a deformity because that's just what it's called. We laugh about it now. You guys met Gianna. She's freaking amazing, like amazing. So, but I sometimes think about it and I'm like, oh my God, like she doesn't have neurofibromatosis, thank God. But they also told me she had 10 fingers, 10 toes. So when she was born, we had like the NICU there because I was so early and I had like preeclampsia or toxemia, whatever that's called. It's preeclampsia, but a lot of people know it as toxemia. Long story short, she was only 17 inches and 4.5 pounds. She was the littlest thing ever. Like, I have pictures of her with like a bunch of most standard dolls are 18 inches. So she was shorter. And then as a baby, like squished down. So she looked even smaller. So I have a picture where she literally looks like E.T. because she was so like not done. I don't know if you guys could see her right there, but she's in a small basket. It's like this big. We went to like a place to get like pictures taken. And the lady asked me if I'd mind taking off her clothes. And I was like, what's happening? And then I'm like, wait a minute. She's like so little, but she was actually a few months old there. And they put her in this little thing. They were showing me like those, the baby pictures, that the real pretty ones. Anyway, I was like, absolutely. So we did it. But it's okay though. She's good. She's good. She's amazing. But I did feel bad about this thing today. I just felt bad. My husband's mom, my mother-in-law, died at 48 of breast cancer. Meanwhile, I'm going to be 48 this year. That's so scary. I couldn't imagine. That's so young. Oh, and we both knew someday, my husband and I, because we've known each other since we were born, but we both knew that someday we'd be 48 and that it would just be weird. So, but anyway, so I make sure my daughters get checked and stuff because of that. And she found like a little thing. And the doctor, like a year or two ago, was like, oh, that's nothing. Like, no big deal. Just let me know if it, like. So then this year she was like, Mom, I think I want to get it checked by like a different doctor. She's like, that's like weird. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And she did. And they were like, oh, no, that needs to come out. And I was like, oh my God. So they were like, thank God she came. And I was like, oh my God, like, could you imagine if we didn't come? So, how I always say we have illness, anxiety disorder, or hypochondria? I'm like, maybe this was like, thank God. We don't really have that. Like, clinically, I don't think either one of us fit completely, but we're like right there. We're like right there. But then I tried to tell her today, I was like, she was like worried about if it was going to, I don't know. We have a lot of ladies in here, and I'm sure somebody in here at some point had to get something where like disfigured a little bit. I just feel bad. I'm like, this kid's been through everything, but she's so cool. Anyway, let's watch John so that I could laugh and not cry. All right, let's see.
I'd still watch you. You're brilliant at what you do. You and your husband both.
I know, cuff you, right? Yes, thank you,
Right.
Margie, right?
And so the reason that's relevant
I'm not the devil.
The reason that's relevant, I know you're not the devil. It's making a point. Obviously, you're not the devil. Only when you lock me in my cage in the garage.
Thank you, Rob.
The reason why that's brilliant is because I think it really gets to the core of this debate, just like Brad Pitt, right? Why isn't anybody debating this on the terrain of our work? Why is this being litigated as a moral referendum, right? And there's another question in here. If you're going to engage in a moral crusade, which is what all the people in the smear campaign have done, if you're going to do that, you're going to have some moral authority, right? The other part of engaging in a moral crusade is
so is he trying to
you're going to have, you need probably some bank account, some credits, some moral credits to bolster your position, right? Like, and think about that with you.
Well, thank God I'm a good person. I think I have some moral credits, you guys. I don't have a whole lot of like financial credits, but moral ones I definitely have. So bring it on, Mr.
Your situation, right? Like, does someone who was kicked out of the Daybell trial for violating a number of court regulations multiple times, does that person have moral authority to comment on your character?
I'm not going to say.
How about this? Somebody who took your phone without your consent and went through your phone and the financials that were in your phone. This person knew that they were never to access our financials. That's our business. That person gets in your phone, looks at your financials without your consent. Does that person have the moral authority to engage in a moral crusade to ruin you? Or how about this? Someone who makes comments on a TikTok about your brother in a coma and how you want to non-consensually try to obtain your brother's sperm. Does that person have the moral authority to engage in a crusade, a moral crusade to ruin your character?
I have a question, you guys. Does anybody know the answer to this? Because I know that thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. And welcome everybody coming in. Please come in. I do have a question. So if anybody in here knows the answer, please let me know. But does anybody know, like, I feel like Christina has done a good job of like telling us like at least her side, but I want to say the truth, but again, I don't want to be the judge of that. So let's just say her side. Does she really perceive, and this is a question, that like, does she remember that Lauren said that she personally wanted to carry the brother's child? Or do we think she like misunderstood and that it was just about retrieving the brother's sperm, and maybe that could have sounded like that's what, she was thinking, even though I don't know. But if anybody knows, let me know, because I do think there's a huge distinction there, if so. So I was just wondering.
Or how about this? Somebody who follows you around the courthouse, videotaping you, video recording you, constantly getting in your face, and because of that type of behavior, is not allowed to attend the memorial service that you put on. You helped
I
organize.
participated in helping organize. My dear friend actually.
Does that person have the moral authority to engage in this moral crusade against you, right? So my point is that if you're going to engage in a moral crusade, you better be squeaky clean.
Up over here.
And my point is that we all have flaws.
We're getting to the parable in the Bible, whoever hasn't sinned, cast the first stone. It's a good one.
We all have flaws. We all have imperfections.
She's serious.
And so people make mistakes. You've made some mistakes here. You've acknowledged that. The question is that if you're going to engage in this type of moral crusade, that at some level you're going to need some moral authority to do that. And what does that even mean? I mean, I could talk for the next 5 hours about what moral authority means. we could talk about morality. I won't. I'll just say this.
Morality to everyone is different, right? What is moral and what isn't.
I'll just say
Is
this,
different
that
to each person.
that
There you go.
moral authority is derived from a couple of places. It's derived from your behavior, and it's derived from the community in which that behavior occurs, right? You get moral authority because the community confers it on you for either good or bad behavior, let's say, right?
Oh, thank you, Casey, for letting Coffee know.
And so it's interesting that everyone involved in the smear campaign
I'm still at the top
is
of the chat.
claiming this moral high ground. And they're claiming this.
Someone just said, wasn't Lauren kicked out too? Was she? Was she kicked out of that same memorial?
This moral authority to engage in this smear campaign and bullying and stalking against you because they're morally correct, right? Because they're right. They're going to show, they're desperately trying to show that you've done something wrong, that you're a bad person, and you should be canceled.
Casey makes a really good comment. So Casey says, he's feeding her delusion, in my opinion. And let me tell you why I think this is a comment that is like worth stopping this for. Because do you guys remember when I said that she reminds me a lot of like Lori Vale or whatever, or I feel like they would have been friends. And then I even said that somebody pointed out how the one thing that they have in common is that they both are about themselves first. And I was like, oh yeah, that probably is what I'm like picking up on. But then I started noticing there's actually even more than that. So that probably is the main thing, but there's other things there. So Casey says about feeding her delusions. And if you guys remember, one of my big things was that I felt like Lori literally has, in my opinion, allegedly, her behavior is that of something that we'll see often with a delusional disorder. But I'm wondering, is Lauren having delusion? Not necessarily in the same way as I see it with the behavior with Lori Daybell, because I feel like with her, I mean, I really feel like when you listen to her, I do feel like she believes a lot of the things that she's saying, where I feel like Lauren here, in my opinion, I don't know. Do you guys think she really believes the things she's saying? I don't know that I do. Where like I feel like, do you guys know what I mean? Do you guys feel the same way? You probably know more than me. Oh, Explore Core, where the hell have you been? Margie's here. Hey, you guys. Truth, you're here. Hi, Truth. I'm so excited. I love you guys. You think she was convinced that she was really in danger? That's what I'm asking, Casey. Like, I'm starting to wonder, like, and then if that's the truth, if she really thought that she was in danger, part of me is like, well, God bless you for having a life where this felt, yes. Duke, what's up, Duke? So Duke says, I think she feels entitled. And I agree, and I not only agree with that, but it's funny you say that because I have written in like my notes thing up here. I don't know why I even pulled it up, but I pulled it up and it says channel entitlement issues. So I definitely feel that same thing. I don't think she's in fear at all. She's in fear of being irrelevant and broke. Margie, you are so right, right? Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? I almost asked what you thought about that last night. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm still, I don't know, but I do see that entitlement behavior that we see with a lot of the offenders that we cover. I mean, even if you're looking at, like, if I haven't covered that many, I've only been around for not even a whole year. So, and we've covered Lauren now, Mackenzie Shrilla, Nick Reiner. Oh my God, there's so many others that I covered that would fall under this entitlement. Who else have we covered that would fit under the entitlement thing? I don't know, but I felt like last night there was quite a few of them when I was saying it. But yes, Margie, you're right. So Margie says on the body cam, John said that he was worried that they could lose everything that they worked so hard for. And again, let's go back to the very beginning, or not the beginning, but the core issue for me, like for this whole thing, is the fact that don't talk like that about people, right? If you don't want it to come back on you. And again, I'm not saying that you can't ever like have people that you could talk to, and who knows if Gianna heard me. I don't think she'd care, but like if she did, I'd have to owe her an apology, right? Because that's not what my goal was. It was more just getting the support of you guys. Anyway, so yes, of course you're gonna have to say sorry sometimes, not realizing, but there's so much entitlement here. I can't even. Crime Circus. He just dropped a new one. Where has he been? I knew he like definitely thinks Mackenzie Shrill is innocent. He's been on her since the beginning.
That
he isn't.
Yeah, well, and how about also someone is either all good or all bad? I mean, that's what you were saying at the beginning of this.
that gets into psychological
Feel better, Explore Core. Hi, Lee. Hi, Wendy.
essentialism. Exactly.
Yeah, psychological sense.
So it's like the fourth grader. It's like the fourth grader
or
watching.
The 4-year-old.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, even worse.
It's like the 4-year-old watching a little child punch another kid. Maybe the Gabriel had a bad day, and then coming to the conclusion that's a herder. This is a version of that. And by the way, part of the reason that's important is because there is a tremendous amount of immaturity here, right? Like these smear people are engaged. We've seen so many comments about this, that how childish this is, how middle schoolish this is, right? And it's almost like.
So then, John, look, you guys, I can't help myself. Cuff you. I did not do that on purpose. Cuff you. But anyway, I just got so sidetracked by that I just almost forgot what I was going to say. The hell was I just going to say?
It's almost like you're taking that 4-year-old and you're showing the 4-year-old one text that may have been a little snarky.
I don't even remember.
And the 4-year-old's coming to the conclusion, oh, that's a herder, right? It's a similar dynamic.
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of issues here that are worth talking about. One is that there's a deliberate attempt here, I think, to shift this debate away from.
I remember what I was going to say. I just had to reread that stuff to say. So, is it 4th grade or is it stalking, right? Because it can't be both. It's either childish 4th grade stuff, like he says, or it's stalking behavior, like he says, right? It can't be both.
From your work, our work, the quality of our work.
Mm-hmm.
Like technically, Brad Pitt.
Honestly, Marilyn, to be completely honest, I don't think they did, and let me tell you why. And this is just my opinion and allegedly, you guys, but if you guys like read the body language, it already seems like some of these like sessions feel like painful to watch for Lauren. Like it almost feels like she's like, oh my God. So could you imagine, I'm sure they talk about it, but could you imagine them having like a rundown? Oh my gosh. That probably took way more than 9 hours if they did. They probably did. Who knows?
I don't really care what's going on in his personal life. I'm just interested in his mastery of acting. Brad Pitt. I don't really care what's going on in his personal life. I'm just interested in his mastery of acting and his journey towards mastery. And I've been invested in that for a long time. As a matter of fact, I have a quote from a critic. This is recently. So Brad Pitt did a recent movie called F1, which I love, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
I thought he was great. I mean, it wasn't much of a stretch for him. It was probably a very easy role, but he was fantastic. I love the movie. It was exciting. Anyway, there's a critic. Her name is Angelica Bastien. She apparently does some movie reviews.
Let me know if that's too fast. I feel like he goes real slow.
For The Vulture.
Okay.
And I guess.
Is she emotionally immature? Are we talking about Lauren? He's making it worse for them. Absolutely. Yes, Lee is so smart. Lee says, I think John could have helped Lauren and not doubled down on this. In my opinion, he's making it worse for them. Lauren hurt others, and now they're continuing to belittle and hurt people more. That is like the A statement so far tonight. You're like in the lead for the A um, comment, but that is absolutely true, in my opinion, as well. And I think I even said it like last night when I said he could have at this point been like, all right, Lauren, like, let's like reevaluate and da da da. And instead, he like puts all this together. And from what I hear from last night, I haven't even heard the half of it yet.
I guess
I haven't seen this, you guys. So this is all blind reacting.
part of the debate that was going on with F1 was around this idea of, well, what if he's an abuser? Should we give any credence to this movie or to Brad Pitt as an actor? Like, shouldn't we? It was about canceling him, essentially. And here's what she said.
Okay.
She said, quote, "It isn't that people don't believe what happened to Jolie on that plane. It's just that they don't care." And why is that important? Because what this critic is saying is the people understand that the humans make mistakes. Humans are imperfect. And if you want to make this into a moral crusade, then in many ways you're really negating the important point, which is that Brad Pitt is an artist who creates art. He's an actor who acts. Maybe that's the realm where he should be evaluated. Maybe that's what the critics saying. Maybe we should pay attention to his role in this movie and whether the movie is good and how well he's acting, how well he acted in it, rather than litigating something from 2016, which, although potentially horrible, it doesn't affect his acting. I mean, it may have. It probably affected him psychologically. I'm sure he was hurt by it. Maybe. I don't know. I presume. And so here, with you, with us, this whole smear campaign has been a referendum on your character. It's been a referendum. It's been a moral referendum on you and who you are, rather than a critique or analysis of your work.
Yeah.
And so I'm fascinated by that, because it's hard not to say that the reason the reason why this has nothing to do with your work, although I will say we have gotten a lot of emails from people.
I needed that laugh. Casey says, did I miss something? Why is he talking about Brad Pitt? So Casey, in the beginning, last night, we watched the first like 40 minutes-ish. Did you hear what I said? And John goes through not his whole like all of his movies, but goes through like a bunch of his movies, but he's like 1982 he does da da da, and then 1997 he does da da da, and like he talks, and his point is that although Brad Pitt has put out, and he loves Brad Pitt, but although Brad Pitt has put out all this amazing movies and stuff like that, that Angelina Jolie still has accused him of abuse or whatever. So what he's saying is that, and we don't know yet, because at least I don't know yet, because he didn't really come full circle, but what I'm gathering is that he's trying to say that I guess the 7 friends are, I guess, Angelina and she's Brad, and that people should see her genius in reporting and ignore the other stuff because it has nothing to do, like whether it's true or not, it has nothing to do with her ability to report, which that's what I'm gathering. I don't know that to be true yet, but I think that's where he's going with this.
That are very praiseworthy of our work and that see this for what they see, that you've done nothing wrong. And even if you made a few mistakes, they're willing to forgive you because, as Pinata Samurai said, she loves your work, right? I'm going to read a message we just got today. Okay. I'm not going to say the name because I don't know if I'm authorized, but
he just did. He said Pinata Samurai. That's one of their gems.
She says, quote, "Hello, I want to tell you how much I appreciate the quality, credibility, and positive nature of your work. You don't deserve the abuse you're experiencing." I love that because it's the same thing that Pinata Samurai is saying. It's the same thing that Brad Pitt's movie critic is saying. It's, if you reframe this as a moral crusade and not about the quality of your work, it's easier to win to the smear people. It's easier to win that argument because human beings are drawn to that moral crusade. They're drawn into that morality play. For me, I'm less interested in his biography and I'm more interested in his actual art.
Yeah.
And I want to evaluate him on that terrain.
Fair.
Rather than in terms of morality, right? But it shows that human beings have this knee-jerk reaction to go after moral issues.
Yeah.
In fact, like this whole idea of cancel culture, this whole idea.
Wow, you guys. So last night after we were done, I wrote down like little notes from last night. I just do that. I don't write them. I actually say them and they have it write it for me. But same thing. But what I wrote was, and it literally ties into what he just said. So I said, and maybe this will help anybody that didn't watch the first part of it last night with us, but I wrote that early on, Dr. John explicitly sets a celebrity moral play using Brad Pitt in the very beginning to set, and again, I called this, I don't know why I said this, but I said linguistic gymnastics. So that's what I put here too. Like, in other words, they're maneuvering their wording to set a narrative, in my opinion. So I also wrote that he pivots and he talks about society loving moral judgment. Do you guys remember that last night? And he said that everyone in society has a moral, what did he say? Like we're innately moral, and that society loves moral judgment. So when someone's labeled bad, the group impulse is to ostracize or cancel that person. And this is what he calls a moral crusade. So then he bridges his theory with Brad Pitt, in my opinion, with what's going on with Lauren. So I did write that down last night too. So I really feel like that's what's happening here. Again, I don't know for sure because I didn't watch the whole thing, but that's what I'm getting. So it's like a very type of setting the script, the narrative, right? So then he doubles down. All right. So he doubles down and he's not taking accountability. I wrote moral condemnation, mob behavior, cancel culture. There you go. And then I said he describes, in quotes, a moral crusade as people labeling somebody bad in order to ostracize / cancel and ruin reputation. That's what he must have said last night, or I wouldn't have wrote it that way. And then I wrote, why is this so, bad? And I said that because it deals with a few things that I've been talking about this whole time related to they have 316,000 followers. With that comes a huge responsibility, right? And also status comes with that, right? So power, status, and now John's going to virtue signal. Like, what? I don't love that. So, and this is another thing, like with the whole Mormon church and all that stuff where, and how she, I feel like she like taps into that when it like works for her or whatever. But I feel like they're using that because I bet you she has a lot of Mormons or ex-Mormon followers or subscribers. So what if John's using this? Like, what if he's not even really feeling this 100%, but he's using this? Because if you think about, I was thinking about this all, like, as I was just laying in bed trying to sleep and I couldn't, I was thinking about it and I'm like when we talk about politics, right? You want to make the wording so that you make your opponent look bad and you look good. And, at a job, you might want to talk about all the things that you were able to do this past 6 months and how, you stood out above and beyond your job duty, whatever. Here, I feel like he chose moral crusade and virtue, like as a virtue signaling, because they know their audience. Is that like too far off, you guys? You know what I mean? This is like, and think about it when we talk about narcissistic behaviors. And again, I'm not diagnosing, allegedly, when we talk about narcissistic behaviors, this is like the way he frames this wording here to me is like a moral type of grandiosity, right? With narcissism, we see grandiosity. So this would be like moral grandiosity, like we know because he said it earlier. What did he call it? Credits, moral credits. It's almost like they're morally wealthy, if that makes sense. So therefore, you guys should just listen to me because we're good. We're not bad. We're not dark. We're light. And wow, there's so much going on here in my opinion.
idea of harming people on the internet is based on this idea of humans being moral creatures on moral crusades, trying to assert their moral superiority.
Yeah.
With or without, most often without moral authority, but a moral authority is a tricky issue. So I don't want to get into that too much. I mean, because, ironically, I think some of the people on the smear campaign would say that their moral authority comes from God.
Yeah.
And so I think that in the smear campaign, I think there's a religious component, right? So if you have God on your side and you're right, so being right in this case means that they're morally superior, and they're right because they're trying to show that you are immoral and that you have poor character, and therefore you should be canceled. And they're trying to show that with evidence that's flimsy at best, or with evidence that, with evidence that you've seen and apologized for. I mean,
yeah.
But I just think, that's problematic. So let's take it a step further.
So do I.
So people are going to say, "Oh, what? So what? All right." So people people engage in this moral crusade, and people see themselves as good fundamentally and moral, blah blah blah. Who cares, right? So okay, Brad Pitt, may have done this abusive thing. Maybe some people think they should cancel him for that. Maybe they don't care about his work, right? Like, so people are saying, maybe, all right. So they're going after you for being immoral or whatever. People are trying to cancel you. Why should we care?
So wait, so if we don't agree with something, then all of a sudden we're part of the mob that's coming after them? Like we're part of the you know what I mean? Is that what he's saying here? And when it comes to entitlement, you guys, right from the very beginning, they showed entitlement. Do you guys remember when they opened this up and Lauren was like, he was the valedictorian. He graduated from Princeton, but he also got accepted. Where did she say? Like Harvard, Yale, Columbia, I think she said. She's like, he got accepted to all of them. She's like, but he went to Princeton. But she never brings up the other two universities that he goes to. It's only Princeton. So, and he got his bachelor's at Princeton. He goes on to get a master's degree and then a doctorate degree, neither of which are at Princeton, Yale, Columbia, Harvard, so on and so forth. With that being said, that just says to me that you're trying to show us that, like, you guys are at the top of the food chain, like the top of the social hierarchy, and therefore you're more valid. And again, I'm not saying this is real. I'm saying this is what I'm picturing as what's happening here. And a lot of that, what that goes with, you guys, not just like behaviors of narcissism, but also of entitlement, which also usually walk hand in hand with behaviors of narcissism. So I just think we need to keep our eyes open to this stuff, because what winds up happening is, and this is research. I literally have right here in a note, I have a research thing, and I thought I was like saying something about John and research, but I wasn't. I wrote, because I looked it up, you guys, I literally, like, when I get hooked, or not hooked, when I get, what's the word I'm looking for, locked in, I'm locked in. So I wrote here, I did a lot of my research on like interpersonal stuff. So I wrote, I looked up research last night. You can get all this stuff that I did on a site called Mendeley. And I wrote, entitlement correlates with lower agreeableness and tends to create conflict in relationships because expectations aren't mutual. And again, I have my reference and stuff for this and everything. But so pretty much what I'm saying here is, when you have a sense of entitlement, you're less likely to agree about things. So you're less likely to hear what somebody else has to say, and then not only just agree with them, but maybe have to walk back something you've said or done to agree with them, right? So when you have entitlement in the research that I, did just to make sure that I wasn't just pulling this out of nowhere, there is a correlation between being lower agreeableness, which is a personality trait. So we have the big 5 personality traits. There's so many different personality characteristics, but none of the researchers, just like with stalking or any of the other things we talk about, nobody ever comes up with a definition that everybody uses, because nobody wants to we're not using your definition. Why isn't my definition good enough? Da, da, da. So a lot of my papers and my dissertation started with, although there is not one universal definition of da, 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 there are plenty of, or there are common words or phrases that you see when synthesizing the material. And then you come up with like your own version of your synthesis of what all of the other people are saying about that topic. So with that being said, the big 5 personality disorders, it's the OCEAN is the acronym that we use so that people, I guess, can remember what they are. But it stands for openness, conscientiousness, extroversion. Virgin, did you just hear it? I just said extra virgin, like I'm doing olive oil right now. Extra virgin olive oil. Okay. Extroversion. I can't believe I just said that. It's late. Wait, the ocean, OCEA, agreeableness, and N. How crazy is this, you guys? N stands for neuroticism. However, so many people became neurotic about it that we had to change it to negative emotionality. Ain't that some shit? Think about that. And it's not written out that way, but that's literally it. We had to change it to negative emotionality. And I'm like, isn't that just so funny though? Like there had to be people out there that became neurotic of that and, and lacked agreeableness. And therefore it was enough that it was changed to negative emotionality, but it's still the same thing. Nothing changed but that title. Like the definition of it and all is still the same. But anyway, so that's why agreeableness is important here, because lower agreeableness is part of the big 5 personality. And if I'm looking at personality characteristics that align with behavior we're seeing here, then I have to make sure that I do it full stop and not just cherry pick it when it's, when it works for me.
And I want to point out, I've canceled businesses because their values don't adhere to mine. I mean, that's fair.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I mean.
Wow. Did you just hear what she said? She said, I've canceled businesses because their opinions didn't agree with mine. And I feel like John probably wants to die right now because he just spent 49 minutes and 40 seconds convincing everybody that you shouldn't do that.
Right. If people
not canceled, not like gone on and tried to start a smear
campaign.
Like
that's it. She's like, oh shit. What did I just say?
But learned maybe a business isn't one I want to support.
I'm not suggesting.
And if people feel that about us, I get it.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying. I'm just.
It just took her till then to make that insight, like to connect it back to where I feel like John, got it right away. I feel like she's and I think that's part of my problem here is that, and we saw that the whole time in the 9-hour live, is that, or at least most of the 9-hour live, we're not done it, but we see that she'll say or do things without connecting, the insight or without, and that's what I kept saying, do you guys really think she's not making these connections, or do you think she just doesn't care? What is it? And it could be a little bit of both, you know what I mean? But right here, she literally just talked and said, oh yeah, I cancel people that I don't have values with. And then when she sees John's reaction, she changes it to not canceled,
I'm pointing out the disparity between.
What does she say? Not cancel.
Isn't one I want to support.
I'm not suggesting.
And if people feel that about us, I get it.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying. I'm pointing out the disparity between focusing almost exclusively on moral issues,
right,
versus ignoring the work.
Right.
That if you see someone as deeply immoral and there's evidence of that, not preconceived notions of it.
I'm just reading the chat.
Then yeah, I think sure, people have the right to judge things as being immoral and not consistent with their values, and then not caring, not paying attention to someone's work. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's certain people like me. There might be moral questions around Brad Pitt, but it doesn't really affect me. I'm interested. I'm really interested in his personal life.
What do you say?
For you, it's about his craft.
His work, right? Now there might be some people that say, "Oh my gosh, I'm never going to see another movie by him." That's their choice.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. There's some businesses I thought, I don't want to, support that business because
they both seem very angry as opposed to scared.
Maybe I found out their founder isn't someone who holds my, same beliefs, and then I'll end up actually supporting them because they make a good chicken sandwich. Good. So it happens.
So the next step in this is if humans are essentially moral creatures, and that's how we see the world and evaluate them, we all want to be good. The question is, one of the questions that arises from that is,
I don't know how it's relevant.
How do we maintain that? So when there's threats to our moral character how do we maintain that perspective? How do we see ourselves as good? And the answer is there's something called the cognitive response principle.
Okay.
The cognitive response principle basically says that any information you get is only going to confirm whatever beliefs or perspectives you have. So in other words, you can get information that contradicts your identity or your view of the world, and you're going to disregard it. You don't care, right? Yeah. Because what you're going to do, the cognitive response principle basically says that all persuasion is self-persuasion, meaning you're going to get that information, you're going to come up with a lot of reasons why it's wrong, even though it's correct. Somebody gives you evidence of something, you're going to come up with a lot of reasons about why that's wrong and why you're still a good person. There's also something we talk about all the time, which is confirmation bias.
Just another human, you're right. And not just me. Many, many people are smart. We see right through them. Amen to that. Isn't that the truth? I can't unsee Peter Griffin judging just the facts. Do you want to know what's funny, Explorer Core? The only reason I even read that, True said like a girl fan, that's funny. The only reason I even said that out loud, hey, Becky, is because you're not the first person to say that. As a matter of fact, there's a few of the interviews where people have gone in, I don't even know how they did it, but they've made like, it's the same interview, same everything, only their faces are like cartoon versions of them. And everybody always says, can't we use like Peter Griffin for him? And so the fact that you just said that made me laugh because you're not the first to say that.
Confirmation bias is you take evidence or information, you find the parts that confirm your view, you disregard the parts that don't,
right.
And all of a sudden you still believe the same thing. Right. So part of this is that if you're that 4-year-old kid who thinks that Gabriel's a herter, and let's say that kid grows up with Gabriel, let's say he lives in the same neighborhood, that kid at 4 thinks Gabriel's a herter.
Birdie's here. What's up, Birdie?
Every bit of information that 4-year-old gets from there on out until they're adults, he could use to either confirm that view, or he could get information that Gabriel, in fact, is a really good kid. He's in the Boy Scouts. But you might take, let's say, he would take that information and disregard it and tell you why Gabriel is still such a bad kid.
Because you could also say, Gabriel? He's in the Boy Scouts, not good.
Who's Gabriel? I was reading the chat. Is Gabriel a boy that he just made up? Can I go back 20 seconds to see if Gabriel
is a really good kid? He's in the Boy Scouts. Information that 4-year-old. And let's say that kid grows up with Gabriel. Let's say he lives in the same neighborhood.
Oh, that
kid at 4 thinks Gabriel's a herter.
Oh, I remember from the beginning.
Every bit of information that 4-year-old gets from there on out until they're adults, he could use to either confirm that view, or he could get information that Gabriel, in fact, is a really good kid. He's in the Boy Scouts. But you might take, let's say, he would take that information and disregard it and tell you why Gabriel is still such a bad kid.
Because you could also say, he's in the Boy Scouts, not good. Depending on how you see the Boy Scouts or how you want to see Gabriel. To your point.
I'm using that. Yeah, that's.
Oh my God, he wants to die right now. He did not like that she just did that because she's not. Hi, DL and Tamarine and PK Val. You guys are all here. Shut up. Hey, everyone. Hey, Jamie. Oh my God, you guys. You guys are the best. But yeah, so what she does just now is she pretty much just, look, you could see it right there. He's like, what the heck did she just say? So like she keeps doing this. So every time he tries to make a point, she'll say something that like invalidates it, which makes me wonder if they did have a meeting about this before or they did practice it. Like, was she not paying it? Like, I don't know.
Sure.
But that was actually a great example. Depending on how you want to see this, good or bad, is how you'll.
That's a great example.
Confirm your bias to Gabriel or to create a new.
Oh my gosh.
View.
Right, and this is important because if people are engaged in a smear campaign and they get information that contradicts their belief, they're going to ignore it.
Correct.
They're going to stand their moral ground. They're going to stay with their moral superiority. They're going to remain in their self-righteous perspective because they have a moral authority.
They'll twist the evidence. They'll edit the evidence.
They'll edit it. They'll twist it. They're going to show you
the evidence out of context.
Right. They're going to show you whatever they want to show you because of confirmation bias and the cognitive response principle. So no matter what information you give them, it's not going to move the needle. It's not going to impact their perspective that you're a bad person and you're immoral. And they have to fight that battle on that moral terrain because more than likely it's going to be much more difficult to fight it on the terrain of content and the quality of content.
Wait, did you just hear what he said? That made no sense.
Moral. And they have to fight that battle on that moral terrain because more than likely it's going to be much more difficult to fight it on the terrain of content and the quality of content.
Listen, you guys, listen.
More than likely it's going to be much more difficult to fight it on the terrain of content and the quality of content.
Yeah.
But let's move on.
He has no idea what the hell he
on the
just said
terrain
to
of
you.
content and the quality of content.
Yeah.
But let's move on. So that's important to know, because this is why when evidence comes out to the contrary, like you and I have gotten a lot of feedback from people that's been very positive about creators we've helped, about victims we've helped. They've reached, all these people have reached out to us, right? That contradicts their narrative.
Right.
Wow.
And so therefore, that's information. That's evidence that contradicts their narrative about how immoral you are. Therefore, they're going to use confirmation bias, and they're going to use cognitive response principle to negate or deny or minimize or delete all of that information that could change their perspective, right? That's how you continue on a smear campaign.
Yeah.
You put it on moral terrain, you disengage from any contrary evidence, and that's how you keep going. In fact, that's how you escalate. But let's take the next step in this analysis, and this is a step I love. There's something called the fundamental attribution error.
Oh no, he didn't just say that. What? You guys, what he's doing here? Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys, this is so not cool.
This is a step I love. There's something called the fundamental attribution error.
Okay, so what he's doing here, this is what, I'm sorry, you guys, I have ADHD so bad, and my medicine is not still working 15 hours later, so you have to bear with me, but I am floored because he's using words like cognition, even, like he's just fundamental, he's using words that we would use in our profession almost as a way to get other people to be like, you know what? I don't know what the hell a fundamental attribution error is. Like, he clearly knows what it is. He didn't even pull out any of his books to talk about it. Like, this must be something he knows about. Same thing with the cognitive stuff he was talking about and whatever else he just said. That literally, have you ever heard this thing, like it goes up my ass sideways? Like, that literally just went up my ass sideways. Like, I do not like this. Let me tell you why. Fundamental attribution error is just our tendency to over-explain other people's behavior using their personality. So, like, that's just who they are, you guys. And then to under-explain it using the situation, just like what was happening to them in that moment. So, we can also, if we're going to look at this through personality, like he does when he says that Christina has antisocial, I don't know if he says personality or traits or whatever, but it was just messed up. So instead of saying the fundamental attribution error is, you know what I mean? Just say, there's this thing in psychology, and it pretty much just means that when people want to explain away their behavior, they'll just say like, well, that's who I am. And when they want to, get away from that using the situation, they'll just say like, oh, well, that was just what was happening at the moment. Like, that was just then. So it's either, in other words, it's either them or the environment. Instead, he uses fundamental attribution error to confuse all of you that you must not be as smart as him, because like we just seen in the comments, everybody is smart, right? Not everybody, but you know what I mean. There's a ton of us that are smart. He's not the only smart person. But if I go to a car dealership, like I have a doctorate degree, but if I go to a car dealership and they're like, you're whatever I know what a transmission is, but you guys know what I mean. If they said something about the car, I might be like, well, you know what, like they clearly know what they're talking about. I have no idea what he just said, but he clearly knows what he said. Like, so you might be more willing to just trust it because you're like, well, that sounded like it was pretty technical. I feel like that's what he's doing here. It's almost like it doesn't matter how smart you are. If you don't know what these terms mean in our field, then they sound like fancy terms. Like even cognition is a fancy word for thought process. Think about that. So when he talks about like cognitive dissonance or I don't even know whatever other cognitive shit he was just using, but And what else did he say? Confirmation bias was another one. Instead of just saying, we tend to, after we like believe something, everything we see afterwards that, tells us that our judgment is correct, we tend to see that and we don't see the things that tell us that we might be wrong. Like, why not say that? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are the chances there's going to be somebody on here that's also interested in John? Like, there's a ton of therapists on YouTube, but there's some of us, but there's not a ton of us on YouTube, at least that I've seen, that have been covering this case. So that's like so egregious to me, or so outrageous, because I don't want to be doing what they just did, because that would be a total lack of insight to use egregious when I could just say outrageous, but that's not really that big of a word. And that's not like position specific. That's what I mean by like the position specific stuff. Like, I know that everybody knows big words. That's not it. It's the fact that he's using words that we use in the field almost as a way to trick you that you're just not smart enough. Just listen to him because he knows, you guys.
The fundamental attribution error is probably one of the fundamental principles of psychology. It's been proven over and over again by research. It's if there's such a thing as a law in the field of psychology, this would be close to that.
Okay.
Wow, I'm dying to see how he explains it, and if he explains it the way that I just did. So again, remember, you guys, what I said. So this is the tendency to over-explain other people's behavior using personality. So again, it's just who they are, or using the situation at the time. Oh, it's what they were going through at the time. This, it shows that, like, well, let me see what he says. Let's see what he says. I want to see how close
another law. There's a psychologist recently deceased.
I don't like that either. I'm so sorry. I keep stopping, but I'm like unhinged right now, I think. I'm really not. I'm not unhinged. I shouldn't have said that. Somebody's going to clip that and be like, she says she's a, and I'm not. What did he just say that I just went? What did he just say?
Psychology, this would be close to that.
Okay, he's using the word laws. I don't like that he's using the word laws. We don't have laws of psychology. So when he says that if there were laws, this would be a law, but then after that starts using the word law instead of if we had laws in psychology, he now makes the other people think that there are laws of psychology and that this is one of them. And I don't like that.
Another law, there's a psychologist recently deceased, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi is his name. He used to teach at the University of Chicago. He taught flow. He wrote about flow. He's kind of the father of that. He believed that Lord Acton's law was also a similar law. Lord Acton's law, I'm just throwing this out there to give you an example of another law in psychology. Lord Acton's law says, wow, the power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Wow,
so
that didn't age
corrupts.
Well. Power corrupts. Wow, that didn't age well, John.
The power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And they have power over Christina because they have 316,000 followers, and Christina at the time had 50, I think it was.
Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi believed that was a law. This is another what I would consider to be close to a law of human.
He just said that's what they believed was a law, but he just got done telling you guys that it was a law. So by just adding that in, and now he just said that what he thinks is a law. I do not like this.
So Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi believed that was a law. This is another what I would consider to be close to a law of human behavior. Fundamental attribution error. So what is the fundamental?
Oh my God, did you guys just see him look down as if he was reading notes?
The fundamental attribution error says that human beings overestimate the importance of personality in explaining behavior.
Oh, look at that.
As opposed to the situation. So let me repeat.
Oh my God, who just said that? Listen to what he just said. He said to themselves, he literally just said what I said pretty much.
That human beings, whenever something occurs, human beings prefer to explain events in terms of personality rather than the situation. So the evidence for the fundamental attribution error, for example, would be the famous Milgram experiments where you shot.
The Milgram experiment is when you go in, and what they did was they wanted to, wait, let me put my thing on. I'm like talking to you guys and just realized that I don't have my camera on. So the Milgram experiment, you guys, was done after World War II, and it was done in order to show that the Nazis were not necessarily, not the Nazis, but like the citizens of Germany were not necessarily bad people, but that they were under a bad regime and under a bad person who had a lot of power over them. And that bad person, like, you know, that was pretty kind of like fundamental attribution error, right? That it wasn't their fault pretty much, but it was the situation that they were in. So with that being said, Milgram is in the United States, and people in the United States, we didn't have stuff like social media or like where you could just access people in other countries and talk to them. And it wasn't like that. There was not like Google Translate and stuff. So Milgram does an experiment because he wants to show that, well, what he does show, not that he wants to see what happens if he creates a study where there's shocks involved. So what happens is there's everybody in the study is an actor, okay? And except for one person. So let's say I go in, but I don't know that I'm there. Like, I think I'm there for this experiment, but I think so are you. So we're both in the waiting room, but you're an actor. I just don't know that. So then the next actor comes out, which I don't know is an actor, and he has like a hat where we both pick out whether we're going to be the teacher or the learner. The trick here is that there's teacher twice in there because they want the person, the volunteer that comes in that doesn't know what's going on, to be the teacher. So the other person's an actor. It doesn't matter what the hell they get. They just want the other guy to get the teacher. So you get the teacher, you go in, they show you what's called, oh my God, what do they call it? The shock generator. They literally make, it's like, but they put like numbers in front of it to make it sound like it's like this super, and it looks super high tech, and it's got all these like buttons. And what they did was you couldn't see. First, they send you in and they show them setting up the learner. And again, the learner is an actor. And they hook this learner up, which literally almost looks like an electric chair pretty much. But like they put their hand, they do all the things. And they let like the teacher or the volunteer see what they're doing. Then they bring the teacher in the other room. They give them a series of questions. They ask the learner. Every time the learner gets one wrong, they have to give them an electric shock. Now, there's a guy in a white lab coat who's also an actor, but the guy, nobody knows that. Well, like the volunteer doesn't know that. That's in the study. So this guy in the white lab coat, every time he keeps going. So in the beginning, no big deal. For most people, when they show it, they're like, burn, burn, burn. Like, no, you got that wrong, burn. No, you got that wrong, burn. And they keep going up. However, once it starts to get closer to the top, they have the person on the other side scream as if they're in such pain and like anguish. And they'll even say things like, stop, you need to stop. Like, you got to get me out of here. My heart can't take it in here. Get me out of here. And you'll see like the volunteer person who's the teacher get like in distress. They'll be like, they'll show you many, like you could look this up on YouTube, but they'll show you people like, oh my gosh. And the person will say like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to press the next thing. And the guy in the white lab coat says, you must continue. And the teacher is like, but what happens if like something happens to this man? I'm not going to kill this man. I literally think they are the exact words of the YouTube video because my memory is great and I've been teaching it for so long. But then long story short, what they found is that 2/3 of Americans, let me repeat that, 2/3 of Americans gave the electric shock that would have killed the other person just because the guy in the white lab coat told them that they must continue. So the Milgram experiment didn't just show that the Nazis were under this regime and that they did things against their conscience that they wouldn't normally do, but it also showed conformity and how we tend to conform as human beings. So the guy in the white lab coat, he must know better. He's in a white lab coat and, you know, he told me to continue. I must continue. And again, you guys, if you guys look this up, it's so crazy because they hit the thing and like the guy's not even like, they have the other person, the person that's like playing the role, they have that person not even answer at the end. So it's like as if they're not even feeling the shock because they're probably dead. And they still have like the guy in the white lab coat tells them to continue and they still do. And they give the next shock. So it's almost like, wait, what? Like, I can't believe that. But I bet you that's what John's about to say. I just want to show you guys that John's not the only smart person in psychology.
People, because the experimenter is in the position of an authority figure wearing a lab coat, and he says, basically shock this person until they're screaming in pain, and subjects do it. They do it because of the situation, not because they're bad people.
Yeah.
There's the Stanford prison experiments where people are put in the context of a prison and they start acting out like abuse of prison guards. Not because
Stanford Prison Experiment is a really good one. It's with Philip Zimbardo. There's actually, I won't give you the whole rundown, but I also teach about this. And pretty much in a nutshell, think of it as like 30 college students who were all the same. Like there was nothing different as far as who was like had more power than the other. None of that existed because they were all college students. Again, they were picked. Some of them were picked as guards, the rest as prisoners. Zimbardo was the researcher. He plays the role of the warden. It's supposed to go on for 2 weeks, but it gets shut down after 6 days because the labels literally took over the person, so much so that Zimbardo starts acting as if he's a warden instead of a researcher. And it's not until he's like bragging to this girl that he likes or whatever about it, and he shows her, that she comes in and she's horrified and is like, what are you doing? And she asks him, what's the independent variable here? Like, you're literally instilling like this dread in these guys, like, for what? And he said that's when he was like, whew, and like it just like came over on him. And he was like, what am I doing? And they stopped the study because they showed that labeling, like literally within days, including the researcher, got sucked in. But because of that study, we now do double-blind experiments, meaning that there would have always been another researcher out there that would have been overlooking it to stop those types of things from happening.
They're bad people, but because the prison guards are given too much authority, right? There's the ASH experiments that I've talked about on our Patreon, where groups are shown lines of different magnitudes. They're given a reference line, and they're shown 3 lines of different magnitudes, and members in the group are Confederates. And they're told, hey, look, this is clear cut. There's one line that matches the 3. But we want the Confederates to say that this line is actually the wrong line.
PK Val asks real quick, doesn't time have an impact on it, though? Someone might give those shocks if it's all been happening in the past couple of hours and they haven't had a chance. I think that's the point, PK Val, is that when given orders, when I think the point, I guess, is that when given orders by an authority figure, even especially in a situation where you don't have time to think about whether it's right or wrong, that as human beings, we tend to trust the person in authority and we go with what they say. So then later on, we have PTSD, right? And chronic PTSD, because we then think about it and we're like, what the frig did I do? Like, you know what I mean? So I think, PK Val, that was such a great question because that's almost at the core of this, right? So it's like, yeah, you do eventually see that it was wrong or whatever. And that's part of this. And it's like, well, then why did I do it? And the point is that that person later on can reflect and be like, well, if I was able to do that, then why am I judging this other person for doing this type thing? And that's what it showed. And it just showed how authority, when you give somebody positions of authority, how they can corrupt. The thing that comes back to me is that these two don't have the insight to see themselves as powerful over other people. Like even someone like me that's a small YouTube creator, they could crush me in 1 minute, right? If they really wanted to. That's power. That's power. And when you're doubling down and filling up all these hours with academic linguistic gymnastics, as I said, and I don't even think that's a big word. Like linguistics, everybody knows is language, and gymnastics, we all know what that is, a backflip, right? So this is just like flipping your words. So I don't think I was using anything that big here. But wow, this is like forget the Brad Pitt stuff and the 4-year-old boy and all that. Like the stuff here that like has me so triggered is the psychology stuff and the role of power in the situation and the lack of insight being shown right now. That's what's so like to me.
In other words, to say that this longer line is a shorter one and to get people in that group to believe it. And you know what? 75% of the time, one of the group members believes that the wrong line is the right line simply because of group peer pressure. Those are all examples of where the situation, it's not because these people have defective personalities.
No. Group peer pressure. Group peer pressure.
Right.
So here's where the fundamental attribution error is really important in terms of this smear campaign.
Okay.
I can't stress this enough.
The 4-year-old bully.
That almost every person involved in the smear campaign.
An hour into this, and he's still not done his scenario. And I think that that's part of the problem here. Like, I might stop a lot and stuff like that, but one, I'm blind reacting to this, so that's going to happen because you guys are getting like this is literally why I did the 9 hour live on my own first because I literally stopped it every 2 seconds to write notes in my book because I was like, what the hell? But they're using all of this time to fill almost to educate you so that because you guys not you people personally, I mean us people, like in general, like I feel like it's almost as if like let me flood them. You know how we say like love bombing? I feel like we're being research bombed or something here, but again it would be bombed because just like love bombing, it's not for the reasons for which it's intended. Like I still don't know what Brad Pitt and the 4-year-old have to do with this.
Pain talked about you positively.
Yeah.
They all talked about you in a positive light.
It's true.
Before you rejected them.
People love and have sex with their exes before they get divorced too, right?
Before there was a change.
Some of them rejected me too.
Yeah, but the point is that you were essentially positive, and then
he just went against what he was thinking again. He was trying to make a point that everybody thought positively of her and then changed their mind because that's the whole point of the research he just showed. And she's like, but some of them rejected me. And he's like, yeah, but
certain circumstances changed it, and all of a sudden you became evil, right? How is that relevant? Because they saw your personality as good. They saw you as kind. We have messages from people proving this.
Yeah.
Until their friendship with you or the relationship with you changed. And then all of a sudden they became haters, you became bad, right? It's the fundamental attribution error. Do you just go from saying, oh, you know what? This person is so nice. One of these people that is no longer with us.
Guys, we're getting there.
She said, oh, John and Lauren are angels. All right. One of these people said, oh, Lauren is so kind.
Someone just sent us, we've been getting a lot of messages, by the way, from people.
Oh my
God,
God, she just did not pay attention to what he said. Listen, look at this. This is like in almost every video I say.
So kind.
Someone just sent us, we've been getting a lot of messages, by the way, from people that know people, and thank you. Someone else sent us a message from somebody that said they are just as nice as in person as they are on their podcast. And now
you're evil. So the issue is, this explains it. This law of psychology, the fundamental attribution error explains it.
Explain it.
Is it because you have a defective personality and you're evil and immoral? No. It's the fact that the situation changed. How did it change? Because you either changed their employment, you changed your relationship with them, maybe you had a falling out in your friendship. It wasn't that your personality changed, it's that their status with you changed.
Okay, so I agree with the fact that it wasn't that her personality changed because your personality stays consistent throughout life. The status changes because of her actions, right? Because all they did was show the other people in the group the things that she was saying about them. So John's making it sound here like as if these people all had some kind of conspiracy to go against Lauren, when the truth is she's the one that was talking bad. Because when these people showed the text messages, they weren't apologizing for what they said in there because they didn't say anything. It was her that was saying the things that were bad. So it's just, I don't know. It's just, when I say
and because
I don't know,
that status changed, they hate you.
They hate you.
Why is this important? Because all the evidence here suggests that these people all saw you as good and moral and virtuous until something happened. They either rejected you, you rejected them, the friendship changed, right?
The situation.
What happened is you turned out to be somebody that you turned out not to be the person that you said that you were. And that is what changes every relationship, right? The number one cause of a divorce is a violation of expectations. It's the same thing with friendships. When we violate people's expectations, things change. But that goes when the person that's in control of their own actions, right? Like, it's not my fault if you fuck up. It's your fault if you fuck up. Like, just like it's not your fault if I mess up. Like, this is like, wow.
The situation changed. And so in that sense, it's really no different than the Milgram experiments. in the sense that
he did not just, you guys, what he didn't tell everybody here, and I told you, was that the Milgram experiment was created to show that the American people were willing, 3/4 were willing to do the electric shock, meaning that the people in Nazi Germany were also not bad people. He's literally now, he doesn't tell us that part here, right? So now, not knowing that, people are like, oh, yeah, she's like the Milgram experiment. Oh, yeah, she is, you know? And it's like, wait, what?
the situation is being guided by an authority figure, that's how you get the subjects to shock people, right? It's not that the people performing the shock treatments changed their personalities. It's that the situation changed. And so the most compelling evidence and most compelling argument here is you didn't change.
Thank you.
I know you didn't change.
Someone actually tried to tell me that I changed. Thank you.
You didn't change at all. The situation changed. Their status and relationship with you changed. That's it. You're the same person.
Thanks. Still drive you crazy.
I agree with that.
I can still be annoying.
Yeah, right. You can be annoying, but you know what? I'm an adult. I can handle being called annoying or having people saying they're annoying. Like, that's what mature adults.
Can they, though? Isn't that what, like, wow. So now he's pretty much saying that it's everybody else's fault because they can't handle it? Is that what he's saying? I can handle people calling me annoying. Again, where's the freaking insight here, you guys? The whole reason she feels threatened is because people are saying these things that they feel about her. So if he can take it, is he doing her any justice by not helping her process the same thing? I guess my biggest thing here is the lack of insight. Like, I don't get it in the lack of being able to make a connection, especially being that you are, like they said, so highly educated and so highly decorated in the field of media and stuff, like whatever. It's just, I feel like they should know better.
Do they can handle being called annoying. You can call me annoying too. You do all the time. So
you can be really annoying.
That's what grown-ups do. That's what mature people do. They can handle being labeled something.
You probably shouldn't tell your spouse that they're annoying that often. I mean, I guess it happens, but wow, this is bewildering.
So we're covering a lot of terrain here.
They didn't cover any terrain. Nothing. I still don't know what the 4-year-old boy has to do with this, or Brad Pitt for that matter. I don't.
Fundamental attribution error.
Oh, we're back to that.
Is proof that you're not the one who changed the relationship.
And the funny thing is, we're scientists, so psychology is a science. Anything that uses the scientific method for research is a science. And one of the things that we don't do in science is use the word prove. We use disprove and fail to disprove. So again, even here, like, you're highly educated. You're the research person that pulls out the research. Like, you know that we don't say prove. So now why are you saying prove? Just say it supports that, or, there's a correlation here. Don't say it proves, because now you're just like, don't say it's law, because we don't have a law. Like, it's like what?
Changed. You're the same person. That doesn't mean you're without flaws. Doesn't mean that you're imperfect.
I'm definitely not going to bed now.
I'm not right. Perfect.
My heart's like.
So let's stay with this idea of morality, though. So with you, the fundamental attribution error basically says that you went from being a good, virtuous, moral person, and then your relationship with these people changed, and all of a sudden you're immoral, right? You're a defective character. That's the argument. It's ridiculous because every single one of these people had a change in relationship status with you, and every single one of them turned against you because of it, not because you changed. And so obviously, what does that suggest? That's envy. That's envy. We'll talk about that more later. But before we do, people still might be saying, all right, whatever, John, like, people are moral creatures. They want to think they're good. They don't change their perspective of themselves.
So pretty much what he's trying to do here, you guys, is he's saying, so with fundamental attribution theory, let's say, for an example, by, her, I don't know what you would call it, the whole live stream thing, and I guess like coming to a break, like this whole situation, fundamental attribution error, and again, it's an error, right? This is the error. I'm telling you how this would play out if this is what it was. We would then be blaming it on the person's personality. So for fundamental attribution error in this situation, it would be they're unstable, they're manipulative, right? The situational alternative, which is the other part, remember I said it's the person's personality or the situation. I do this a lot. I'm just being honest. And you know how I say I play devil's advocate. It's like my best and worst quality. I kind of do this sometimes. So the situational alternative for the live stream or, that 9-hour live and people saying that she was unstable or manipulative. If you're looking at situational alternatives, you might, and again, I always tell you guys, look for at least 2 alternatives. I said that in the last video I made about this. And so you would look at things like, well, maybe she was tired. Maybe she's just stressed. Maybe she's got stress now from the public and people are writing all the messages. And maybe she does feel threatened. I almost said loopy, like tired. Oh, maybe she does feel threatened. Like maybe she really does feel like her and Grayson are under attack and so on and so forth. So the situational alternative here doesn't necessarily excuse the behavior, but it helps to explain it more accurately. And I think what John's doing here is he's trying to explain her, Brad Pitt, all of them, that although people would say that this is their personality type, that maybe it's the situation, you guys. Maybe they're under stress. What is wrong with you guys that you can't see that? Like, duh. And again, I'm being sarcastic.
Fundamental attribution error. Okay, so what?
It was like, don't like just sarcastic. I don't want to look like I'm just
this is the part I think that's important.
Which I guess, real quick, I'm so sorry I just did this again. I know some of you probably want to like punch me right now, but it's really ADHD. And just because I've never seen this before and I'm literally reacting live. I forget what the hell I was going to say. I should have just said it.
Now we're going to get into why there are risks here and why this is a real problem.
Oh, I'm never getting through this.
A lot of people, maybe not a lot, I'm sorry. There's some chatter out there that this is just like a big cat fight, right? This is just like a bunch of mean girls going at it. There's no victimization. There's no risk of violence, right? This is just all overblown. I'm going to show you now why that's not true. There's something I'm going to read from a book here.
In other words, you're saying that I don't have a stalker and that I did a 9-hour live crying about a cat fight.
You were faking the whole thing and you were crying about a cat fight.
Or I'm dramatic. And
we'll get to that in a little bit. There's a couple of psychologists, Alan Fisk and Tage Rye. They wrote a book called Virtuous Violence. They've done a lot of research on this, by the way, so there's empirical support for this theory.
Okay.
But I'm going to read.
Yeah, just go to where you put the tab, John.
I'm going to read a little bit from their book and start explaining why this moral crusade and this desire for certain party, this self-righteous moral, referendum on you is important. So here we go.
What? Yeah.
Most violence, this is according to the theory by Fisk and Ray, most violence is morally motivated. People do not simply justify or excuse their violent actions after the fact. At the moment they act, people intend to cause harm or death to someone they feel should suffer or die. That is, people are impelled to violence when they feel that to regulate certain social relationships, imposing suffering or death is necessary, natural, legitimate, desirable, condoned, admired, and ethically gratifying. In short, most violence is the exercise of moral rights and obligations.
She put the glasses on.
Working within the framework of a relational models theory, our thesis is that people are morally motivated to do violence to create, conduct, protect, redress, terminate, or mourn social relationships with the victim or with others. We call our theory virtuous violence theory. So why is this important? It's important because there's a lot of evidence suggesting. I'm going to read a line in here that I think
a theory. It helps explain a phenomenon, you guys. So just because this is someone's theory, now that I've done all of my research in like identity development and stuff, I could technically create my own theory, especially related to how media affects the identity development of 18 to 24-year-old college students. Here, But that doesn't mean that you have to agree with my theory. It would be my theory, and there could be some people, and if you do agree with my theory, you would then use my theory or cite my theory to back up your own arguments. So just so you guys know, that's what he's doing here, right? And that is how you're supposed to use research. So he's doing it appropriately here. But just know that he's finding the literature that backs his argument, which he himself has already called confirmation bias. Ding, ding, ding.
Really critical. In short, most violence is the exercise of moral rights and obligations, right?
What was that? Is that all he was going to say?
The reason this is important is because virtuous violence theory completely applies.
Did he just throw the book down? I don't think I've ever seen him do that. Oh, look, and we got the, oh my God.
Exercise of moral rights and obligations, right?
Okay, that's the least amount of time I've ever seen him ever look at the literature.
The reason this is important is because virtuous violence theory completely applies to your situation in the sense that
oh my gosh,
the people engaging in the smear campaign feel morally justified. They feel like their moral rights were violated and they want retribution.
One of them reposted on her TikTok that we should bring back public shaming. That's kind of what you're...
Exactly.
Which is... God, where's the fucking insight? That's what they're doing right now.
The Salem witch trials too. I mean, I guess a lot of people feel that way. Yeah, clearly.
She did not just...
But the larger point here is that there's research supporting this, and that if you engage in kind of this extreme moral crusade against someone, the natural and logical conclusion to that is harm or death.
Oh my God, he said the natural conclusion. That sounds just like Ruby. The natural consequence. What did he just say the consequence was? I was so stuck on, he did not just say death.
The natural and logical conclusion to that is harm or death. And if
oh my goodness. I cannot believe. Wow.
you think about the smear campaign, so
wow. I know where he's going. Wow.
The stalker who began the TikTok, she says quite clearly that her goal is to burn the kingdom down, right? It's clear.
Okay, so then you're that entitled that you feel like you have a kingdom? Like if we're going to take her serious, if we're going to take her words as they're stated, then that means that you guys think that you have a kingdom. Like, come on.
That her goal is not only harm, reputational harm, emotional harm, psychological harm, but the harm that she really wants to affect is to ruin you and ruin your life and burn the whole kingdom down, right? The goal. So what that's implying
ruining your reputation
is that she won't stop until that harm is executed and complete. So if she burns the kingdom down,
no wonder why she's paranoid about this.
Then she feels morally vindicated, or if there's a death. If someone
That's literally what Grayson said, right? You guys, didn't she say it? We know, like, what's going to happen next? Wait, what did she say? A murder? We're in this. We know, like, whatever. Wow, you guys. Wow. This is more egregious than anything he said so far.
Harms themselves or someone harms you, then the game's over. She's morally vindicated. Here's the problem. Here's the risk. This is why this is so risky and so important, because these people, these self-righteous, morally superior people, they want moral vindication, and they're not going to stop until they get moral vindication. And the way they get moral vindication, the way this game ends, is either you're dead or you're completely ruined. That's it. And that, by the way, is malicious intent.
Wow. Wow. You guys, that is so irresponsible on so many levels, not just to Christina and them, but also to his wife.
One of the things about stalking, and we're going to talk about the definition of stalking in a little bit.
Oh, please do.
There has to be malicious intent. There has to be some intent to cause harm. You have it in spades here. When someone says that they want to burn your kingdom down, when they want to expose you, when they want to harm you, they feel justified in doing it. They feel, as virtuous violence theory would predict.
What?
They feel like in short, most violence is the exercise of moral rights and obligations. That's exactly what this is. They're exercising in their mind their moral rights and obligations because you harm them, because you're immoral, because you're a bad person, and they will not stop until their goal is met, which is to ruin you or have you end up dead. That's the goal. Let me continue with another.
Meanwhile, I started this, like I was clicking on this video tonight so that we could talk about stalking and psychology and stuff like that, like we usually do. Instead, we got the Brad Pitt fan club and a Princeton flex. And then I almost forgot. We got the Sermon on the Mount of the Moral Crusade. What? This is literally entitlement behavior. Again, you don't diagnose entitlement, so I guess I could safe with that. It's just my opinion. But entitlement, you guys, that's not confidence at all, right? It's an expectation of special treatment. You want to be above the rules, if you will. Oh my God. Like, it's like they expect everybody else to just like bail and be like, yes, prince, yes, princess. I am almost speechless. Well, actually, I'm not speechless. I'm probably the opposite of, but seriously.
Read another part of this book that's so important. Same book, Virtuous Violence, same authors. This is page 17. Quote, virtuous violence theory proposes that the perpetrator intends to harm or kill in order to constitute a social relationship.
Where's their son right now?
To make it correspond with a prescriptive model of what the relationship ought to be, what it must be made to be. What? In other words, people engage in virtuous violence to get people to conform, and they want them to conform to their perception of a prescriptive model or an ideal of what they think the relationship should be. Yeah. That's
conformity.
That's all over this. That's all over the situation.
What?
They're evaluating you. And again, this gets to the question of moral authority. They're evaluating you against an ideal of loyalty and conformity and acquiescence and fitting in above all else. What they're not doing is they're not evaluating against the criteria of quality work. Right. We talked about, they're not evaluating you against the criteria of creativity. They're not evaluating you against the criteria of complexity, because they're not allowing you to be complex.
No, I need to conform.
You need to conform, right? If you reject them, you're not conforming. You're not loyal. Like, one of the things that you see throughout this entire TikTok is, oh, she's a bad friend. I'm going to punish her for being a bad friend. She doesn't know what a friendship is.
Does she ever say, I'm going to punish her for being a bad friend? You guys, someone tell me real quick. I don't think that she's ever said, I'm going to punish her, because that would be a threat. She doesn't say that.
That's the ideal.
Now he's bringing misinformation like that. Like, I am so, like, I'm like disappointed. I really am.
The reason why there's a real risk of violence here is because, number one, this can escalate so easily, and number two,
what? You
don't fit that ideal.
They think
you never did. You're not conforming to this very narrow, rigid perspective that they want you to fit into
of what a friend is and their friend, and yeah.
That makes this, by the way, I mentioned a moral crusade. Wow. That makes this an ideological battle, in the sense that the fight here.
If somebody criticizes, then it's a crusade. Is that what they're saying? This is like their little high emotion over here analogy literally can blur the line between evidence-based like critiquing and moral condemnation. And that to me is egregious.
And to them, the fight here is good versus evil, or good versus bad. They're good, you're evil.
Wow. Did you notice he said
because
bad?
Of that,
he's going to
the only possible way out of this is total ruination of you or death. I'm going to read a quick quote here, making this point. This is from a book called Human Destructiveness.
Oh my God.
By Anthony Storr.
What? Humans destructive? No.
Anthony Storr is a brilliant British psychiatrist. He's written a lot on a lot of topics. He's writing here about, obviously, human aggression and destructiveness. Here's Anthony Storr, page 142. My dogma is, quote, my dogma is that all dogma is suspect. And it seems to me that most of the harm in the world is done by those who are dogmatically certain that they are right. For being absolutely right means that those who disagree are absolutely wrong. Those who are absolutely wrong are, of course, dangerous to society and must be restrained or eliminated. That is the beginning of the road to the torture chamber and the gas oven.
What?
That's what we're talking about.
What?
So when people say
that's what we're talking, the gas chamber and the wait, what?
That is the beginning of the road to the torture chamber and the gas oven.
Wow.
Unquote. That's what we're talking about.
Wow, that is so irresponsible to bridge that gap. There's a lot of bridges that they try to make. I mean, even the Brad Pitt ones, like, just, but at least that's like not harmful, if you will, like to the field of psychology or to just people in general. Or like, I know somebody out there has, like, there's so many people that have been offended, I'm sure, tonight just by listening to this, because in trying to make Lauren look right, they're making a lot of other people feel bad. And that is not how you do this. Like, if they were, and I'm not saying just, but like, if they were like commentators and like that's it, the fact that they brag about his Princeton education and that he's a clinical forensic psychologist and criminologist, or not criminologist, a criminal psychologist, and da 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 da, and that's what's making this so horrible for me. I feel like I will never, ever, ever, ever do anything like this. I promise. This to me is like making me like about to cry.
So when people say, "Oh, gee, this is just Mean Girls. This is just a stupid catfight," they don't understand they don't understand the stakes here. They don't understand what's going on. They don't understand that to the people in the smear campaign, this is a moral crusade.
Wow.
That is reducing you to someone or something that's subhuman that needs to be destroyed. This is an ideological war against you. And by the way, many of the people in the smear campaign that we have not named are continuing. They have continued. Just so you know, I'm not going to talk about it more than that.
Wow.
Let's talk about some other risks. We will get into defining and stuff.
You know how I always talk about identity, you guys? What he's doing here is he's making, in my opinion, morality like part of our core self, right? Like, he said it in the last time we were here. He said, like, humans have innate like morality, and now tonight he's talking about morality again, and da 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 da. And I feel like what he's doing is he is making a narrative that we all at our core selves have morality. So therefore, accusations like this become like an identity like crusade, if you will, in like the way he, in his terms. So like this episode is like talking about people's moral traits as like central to our identity. With all of the research I done, this shows, oh my God, this shows such like, oh my God, this is a disgrace. I can't believe I said that out loud, but wow. They're literally trying to make us, they're trying to convince us, that's the word I'm looking for, I couldn't get the word, convince us that moral traits should be judged as essential to who we are. And therefore, if I'm saying like, oh, well, I don't like you, I'm judging you, you're bad. So it's like an all or nothing. Like, not just you're annoying, but like you're a bad person. And then once you're bad, like you just get destructed because everything else after that winds up becoming biased. And there's like this righteousness where like it's just going to keep escalating and escalating, and the only thing that's going to stop it is your destruction. Like, that is so dramatic as far as I like don't even like the fact that he's doing this to like I feel bad for Lauren in this moment, I have to say. Like if like does she like know that he's doing this to like make her look good? Because if not, that's like terrible. No wonder why she was rocking back and forth. Like, if she has to hear this and he's constantly showing her this research and stuff, because remember, this is the stuff that they wind up going with. Like, she said that they have meetings every single day in the morning. So these are the things that they go with, which means that whoever said it earlier, I come full circle, you're probably right. They probably go over every little thing. And then they pick the things that they use and the things that they don't use. Not that I didn't say it's bad. I'm just saying, like, you were probably right there, like more right than I was even thinking. This is why I love talking to you guys, because it makes me like think about other things. The bottom line here is he's like framing like he's using these huge words. Like when I said dramatic, I meant like he's using words like this is like human destructiveness and like humans are evil, you're bad, da 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 da. Like so humans become like harmful real fast when conflicts get moralized, right? So if this is a morality thing, then the littlest thing becomes like bad, like quick. And then now we're oh my God. Wow, this is worse than I could have. This is nothing that I expected.
Talking in a minute, and we'll get into the psychology of stalking in a minute. But as long as we're talking about risks, I want to bring up some real risks here. People say,
oh, and just in case anybody wants to know, like I hate that he said about dogma and stuff, and I know that like a lot of people do know what that is, but just in case somebody doesn't know, because I have to be honest with you, if I didn't have to learn it for school, I probably would have no idea what it was. But it's just a belief that's held as like authoritative and like so it's like not up for debate. So you need to accept it as truth. And that members are expected to like you just wouldn't question me. Like this is the truth. This is my evidence. Remember he said the word evidence? That's exactly what that is. And dogma just says like we already know what is true, so new facts are just annoying in Lauren's words, right? So they're just annoying background noise. Like don't you worry about that. We know it's true already. So instead of just saying things like that, they use big words like, and this is about dogma and the dogmatic, what did he say, dogmatic something like, and I just feel like why can't you just say, you know, guys, we already know it's true. Like these new facts are just annoying. Just like Lauren, me, and Christine. Like there was a million things they could have said there. Like why did they have to talk about dogma and dogmatic principles and da 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 da? Like as if the general public even wants to talk like that on it. Like most of us know what these words mean, but they're not things that we would use. I do not use like dogmatic in my normal everyday conversation in Philadelphia. People would look at me like, what? And not even just because they don't like it's not even about knowing what it means. It's just like you don't like you don't really hear people talk like that like in general public. So that's why sometimes I'm like, do the 313,000 people that are following, are they following? Like, do people like that? Like, do people like hearing big words? Does it make and be honest, like, does it make you feel like, I don't know, the person's more credible? Like clearly I understand everything he's saying. So I get it, right? But if I wasn't looking at these things like blind and then just pausing it and saying what I'm saying, you know what I mean? It's like somebody might never know that I was as smart because I'm more down to earth and I talk like normal people because I am a normal person, right? And again, maybe it's just because of the way I grew up and where I still live and da 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 da. But wow, this is like, I do not relate at all.
oh my gosh, why would she get a restraining order if this is just a cat fight among mean girls?
Wow.
Nothing's going to happen. This is nothing, right? No, virtuous violence theory suggests otherwise. And if you do, as I've done, if you do some of the stalking risk assessments, the risks are considerable.
And this is what he does is he assesses and evaluates offenders. So this is what you do with your philosophy.
We know.
Yes, we're the crusaders. And
there's so many examples.
That's exactly right.
When you engage with people on a moral crusade and your goal is to dehumanize them,
a shared fantasy,
and you see it as a moral issue,
that's an A. That's an A statement.
It will escalate. And that was a concern you and I had. If people say, "Oh my God, this stalking order is so frivolous," no, it's not, and this is why. Because you and I were trying to prevent
Oh my God,
someone landing at our door with we did not.
Kathy said, the kid's not even in the other room, he's in the closet. Do you guys remember that Lauren said that she turned her closet into a reading nook, a book nook? I was like, stop.
We did not want to get to that point.
And somebody has now threatened us with that online.
Yes,
officially.
We received our first official death threat the other day. Which again,
not our first official, actually.
That's true.
That is not okay ever, obviously, right? Like, nobody should ever do that. It's one thing for us to like I am so worked up right now, but please don't anybody ever, like, in my honor to say or do anything disrespectful. I'm not a disrespectful person. That would make me feel terrible. I feel terrible for some of the, I don't even like talking bad about people. This is just egregious.
At others.
I'm sorry, I'm not that upset about this. I just had a long day.
Sure.
It was very chilling.
It was chilling, and it shows you the extent to which, when you start framing things in terms of this moral crusade, this is what you get. What are some of the other risks? And we're going to define stalking in a second, but let's talk about some of the other risks involved here and why this is not just mean girl behavior. Number one, the obsessive nature of the posts. Everyone we talk about this all the time. The number of criminals engaged in murder or very violent acts, almost all of them have some type of obsessive qualities. They ruminate about the victim. They can't stop thinking about the victim. They obsess over the victim, right? That creates an attachment to the victim. Here you have that type of obsession. Another risk here.
Months and months and months of posts, despite not communicating.
Well, despite you saying you feel threatened.
Yeah, starting it with I feel threatened, then the social media, the Instagram to Instagram and TikTok, and there's a YouTube I didn't know actually until after this, months and months and months and months of it without.
And then we're all screwed because, oh my God.
Any response from me, escalating. Obsessive.
He only does paper.
There's also this inordinate rage and hatred towards you. And that's a risk, because when people develop this intense rage towards another human being, and I think, by the way, with the TikToker, I think a lot of that is repressed. But you see it. The way you see that rage is by ignoring a stalking injunction, right? The way you see that rage come out is by being oppositional. It's after our first hearing, it's going outside on the courtroom steps and doing a mic drop. That's taunting.
Kelly says, hey, Lauren, I'm sure you're watching. All anyone wants is for you to expose the person you are. If Lauren was watching, I would probably want to say, if this is how conversations go, I could see why she feels a little bit scared, right? But the truth is, a lot of this is self-inflicted. Just don't talk about people, and this won't happen, right? I'm sorry, you guys. I had a really crazy day today, and so I am passionate. I'm not depressed. I will literally be laughing in 3 minutes. I promise. I get passionate because this just gets under my skin, because I cannot believe he's talking like this and that they have 313,000 followers who are listening to this and believe everything that they're saying, and that they could just say this stuff without having the insight and the reflection needed to connect the dots that they're doing the same things that they're saying other people are doing. And it's infuriating. I can't even articulate how freaking infuriating it is to me.
You. The stalker did that on the day of our hearing in September. She went outside. She filmed herself doing a mic drop. That's harassment.
What was supposed to it was supposed to be our evidentiary hearing, and the judge changed it to a later date, and
the judge continued it
and lessened the stalking injunction, and she went out and did a mic drop. Against
Utah code, by the way. Utah code specifies quite clearly that you can't modify a stalking injunction without hearing evidence from the petitioner,
and that's what happened.
From Lauren. And the injunction was modified without hearing a shred of evidence from us. Also, just so people know this, Our lawyer tried to get the stalking injunction
My
enforced.
lawyer, who's not my brother, P.S. Go ahead.
Our lawyer, Daston, not her brother, our lawyer who,
One of four.
yeah, one of, right. We have other lawyers too. None of
them
our,
are my brother.
That's another
yeah, so
thing.
whatever, the rumor
They have
mill.
one of four lawyers, like Christina, like even if she does very well in life, like most people, like I don't know if Christina can is what I'm saying, but most people out there cannot afford, like look at her face right now where I just stopped, like that's like a contempt look. Like the fact that she has four lawyers just shows the entitlement behavior that I'm talking about. Like having four lawyers means that you have four times the power and authority over the other person who got the person that they were able to afford in that moment. And this face right here just shows that I'm right about that. And this is all my opinion, you guys.
Our lawyer tried to argue correctly that because there were multiple violations of the stalking injunction, which is a felony, that the stalking injunction should get automatically enforced. Guess what?
And that is Utah code. That is if you violate it twice.
Our lawyer made the point that hearing never should have even occurred. It shouldn't have even been an issue. It's black and white. So someone violated a stalking injunction, it gets enforced. It should.
Anne Marie, thank you so much, Anne Marie. I'll cuff you. Thank you, cuff you. Thank you, Anne Marie. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. And wait, there's like 100. I just realized there's 109 people watching, and I hope they don't all think I'm a crazy person because I'm not. Hopefully you're all subscribing because we all need to like stick together. This is egregious. All right, let's keep watching because I still need to do my breathing over here, but I'm good, you guys. See, I bounced back quick.
Should have been enforced. End of story. Let's move on. You and I have our privacy intact. That's all we wanted.
Thank you.
We wanted this to be private. We wanted to move on with our lives without someone harassing us all the time, bullying us, stalking us.
Calling. We'll get into that later.
Oh my God.
Contacting people.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Oh my God, you guys, wait. What's happening? I don't even know. I can't even talk. Hold on. Okay, Addie sent 5 Mind Behind True Crime memberships. Thank you. You guys, this is so generous. So let's see who our new people are. Oh, what are you saying? You got one. Lee, Esley, you got one. Elsie, hi Elsie. I didn't even realize you were here yet. Welcome, and look, you remember. Carlene, welcome. And Just the Facts, ma'am. Welcome. And let me go back because I'm on like my thing on YouTube where before I was still reading it from StreamYard, so now I could see. So wait, let me go to what Cuff you said. I just saw in the StreamYard thing, so let me see. Okay. Dr. Vona, we love you, and everything you are saying is why we love you. You are brave and honest. I love you, Cuffy. Thank you for saying that. I just hearted it. You're the best. You guys are so generous. What is happening? Wow, you guys. Explore Core. Yay. Hi, Explore Core. Thank you. Oh my God. And PK Vale? What is happening? You guys. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so generous. This is like overwhelming. Thank you. I appreciate you. Wow. Come on. Oh my God, Coca-Cola, thank you. She said, thank you for being you, Dr. Vona. We love you. Wow, thank you, Coca-Cola. You guys. And Janie Doe is a new member too. Wow. Thank you, you guys. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so lucky. I'm going to turn this off for 1 second to get myself together. Thank you.
That's all we wanted. This argument that somehow we wanted views from Long Crime or that we set this up, that's so ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Lauren, I'm not going to read it again. Lauren read emotion.
Wait,
that our lawyer
Dr.
wrote to protect our
Vonda's
privacy.
here.
Almost no civil stalking cases
Dr. Vonda.
reveal
Oh
or
my
disclose
God.
the information.
Welcome. Oh my God, I heard all about you yesterday. I was like, what are the chances? And I knew that you existed just because I saw in other chats before, like on like replays. And I was like, that doesn't say Dr. Vonda, does it? And I'm like, no. And then I was like, yeah, it does. And I was like, I wonder if that's like a real person. Here, everybody loves you, Dr. Vonda. Thank you so much. Everybody adores you. Adores you. And Kresha, you're here too? Oh my God, you guys, all the peoples are here and I look like a crazy person. I need to get it together. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Welcome, Dr. Vonda. I would love to. Oh my God. Isn't it so cool, right? To see like, and before, was there a time where you just had Dr. Vonda? Or was it always Dr. Vonda? How would I say that? K? Dr. Vonda K? Because I feel like I saw it as Dr. Vonda without anything else. And I like was like, wait a minute, like, what, how am I up there? Oh, you're precious. You guys are the best. Lauren is the best. You guys are so funny. Wow. Wow, you guys. I'm like speechless. Okay, I'm going to get myself together again and wipe my nose because now I look like a big mess. But I appreciate all of you. I will be back on in a sec. I'm still here. I just want to like blow my nose and stuff. So I'll be right back. Wow, you guys. Oh my God. I'm like overwhelmed.
Well, and the reason many people have asked that fairly, and you know what? Let's not even get into it. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let the rumor mill continue.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys
fine.
decide
That's
what you
whatever.
think about what I did. That's your right to discuss. Go ahead.
So you have this obsessive
Sorry,
behavior
I
that
should
increases
read it.
risk. You have this inordinate amount of anger and rage towards you that shows up in TikTok, and social media. And another thing that people point out that I totally agree with is several people that have looked at the TikTok have written and said, one person wrote,
I
that's
got
the most
so
menacing.
excited I turned it off.
Those are the most
No.
menacing TikToks.
Oh my God, what is happening? Thank you so much, Casey. You did. Oh, Casey, you Casey, wow. Dance party, dance party. Wow. Wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh my God, this is great. The member joining music comes on very loud. Should I lower it a little bit? Is it too much? I don't know that I could lower it for this live, but I can lower it for next live because I have to be honest with you guys. Every now and then it'll like come on and I'm not ready for it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have a heart attack one of these days. Oh, that is too funny. Wow, you guys, I feel so blessed right now. You have no idea. Wow. Does this get even worse? Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
I've ever seen. Somebody else wrote, it seems like she's taking pleasure in those. Right? That suggests
Oh my God.
that if that's true, that suggests that this is someone taking pleasure in hurting you, taking pleasure in trying to ruin your character and your reputation and your livelihood and your life.
Like that almost
Right?
Oh
That's a
my
risk
God.
factor.
Like,
Anyone who has sadistic qualities.
I'm dead right now, you guys. I have no idea what's happening. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God. PK Vale. Wow. PK Vale sent 5 behind the line street. What? Who got them? Oh my God, PK Vale. You didn't have to do that. Oh my God, you guys are so generous. Alon got it. Oh my God, Kresha. Welcome, Kresha. Kresha got one. Cleo got one. The pretend judge. I love that. Oh my God, you guys. Wow. Wait, I feel like that was 4. Alon? Is it me or was that 4 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here we go. Mom Shack. I was like, why is there one missing? All right, Mom Shack. Yes. And you guys, I hope all. It's so thank you. Wendy, thank you for subscribing. You guys, wow. I really felt a little crazy for getting so emotional. But now I feel like it's good to just be, like I always say, I'm always going to be me. I'm always going to be authentic. So thank you guys for accepting me for me. Wow, I'm so overwhelmed. Wow, thank you. And I do need to lower that a little bit because somebody's going to wind up having a heart attack and I'm going to feel real bad.
Qualities is going to be a higher risk. Another risk factor here is this very oppositional, let's call it antisocial quality.
Oh my God, Casey.
Which is violating the stalking injunction in the first several hours after it's issued, right? That's basically saying, I don't care.
Oh my
if you
God,
see the picture.
Thank you. Wow. Casey sent one line behind what I don't even know how to say my name right now. And who got it? Shez got it. Welcome all of you guys to my big dysfunctional family. You guys are amazing. Wow. Holy crap.
Of her in the bar with you. The message she's sending is, not only do I not care about the stalking injunction, but I'm going to intimidate you. That is a pure message of power and control and dominance and intimidation. She's saying, I'm here. I don't care about this injunction. I am going to continue to intimidate and control you no matter what. Try and stop me.
He is.
That's concerning. The mic drop moment I just mentioned.
Recording the police officer
calling
after somebody that was called by police implicated her. And so he decided to call her too. And that she called him back to record it.
Right. Recording the police officer, posting it online, and essentially not taking the police officer seriously. That's extremely oppositional. That's very antisocial. That's a very antisocial feature.
You guys
posting that I feel threatened in a message to her and then posting that online.
Oh
and all of this, by the way, so we're talking about risk factors.
Now I'm going to cry.
We're talking risk factors, right? All of these are risk factors, but they all lead to one thing, and that is dehumanization. What they're doing here is they're portraying you as evil, as the devil, even though Pinata Samurai doesn't mind if you're the devil, by the way. Thank you, Pinata Samurai, for acknowledging that apparently even the devil does really good work.
The devil does do good work, but I will do my best to not be like the devil.
All of this leads to dehumanization. And you and I know every crime we've ever covered it involves some level of dehumanization.
Absolutely. That is crime. Dehumanization.
And all of this is about dehumanizing you. Even the people that are mocking you, the memes, it's all dehumanizing, right? But they don't care, right? So, which is fine.
I've been giving people some good content. A 9-hour live would do that.
So I think we've come to the end of this segment.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I've covered why I think this is a risk.
Wait, did we learn anything? What did he cover?
Why it shouldn't be dismissed and taken seriously. It's virtuous violence. It's a moral crusade, right? I've covered.
Okay, we covered that it's a moral crusade. Okay.
Some of the risk factors, but let's
explore core. Say something real quick.
Back up a little bit and talk about both the definition of stalking and the psychology of stalking, because I think those are going to help us go a little deeper here.
Okay.
But before I do, I just want to make the final point that the reason why human beings like to engage in moral crusades is because it really simplifies the world.
It does.
And it also fosters conformity. So for those of you out there who know a little bit about philosophy, if any of you read Nietzsche on Good and Evil, you understand the importance of Nietzsche's idea that all morality is essentially an attempt
Barbara, why didn't he give you music?
And I mean,
Barbara, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, guys. Wow. Oh, look, Explorer Core is here. There you go, Explorer Core. Welcome, if you will, if you'll have me. And thank you for helping in Discord, Explorer Core. I really do appreciate it. Coffee is amazing. And now that she has a little bit of help, that makes me feel really good. Thank you so, so much. Oh, no, your message went poof. It's gone. Well, it's for a good cause. So there you go.
Maintain social norms and social moral systems.
Wow,
because the prevailing ruling classes do not want challenges or change. And by enforcing an existing system of morality, you're also making the world fit into a very narrow box, right? And so that's one of the problems of a moral crusade, is that if you don't fit within that box, then you're going to be vilified, right? And so you became vilified. As we talked about on our Patreon, in the one of the declarations.
Hold on. You guys, Crusha said, oh, stop it. I need to laugh. Okay, so Kresha says that we should
The
go to...
TikToker made it very clear.
Oh, hold on, John. All right, we have to go to the 9-hour live. Kresha, I love that you're teaching me these little tricks that I didn't know. That back and forth thing is like my best friend now. Okay, so where's our 9-hour live at? Where is it? 9-hour live, 9-hour live. Here it is.
Yes.
Okay, so what did you say to do? Go to the 9-hour live, pull up. How do you pull up transcript? How do you do that? Where's that at? Kresha, where's transcript? Why don't I know how to do any of these tricks, you guys? Videos about oh, shut the hell up. There's a 9-hour transcript. Kresha, wow, this is amazing. Wait, you guys, what was that thing again that you said? Crime something? Crime? What was that again? Nobody told me what that was. What's crime? And why isn't this going? Hold on, let me refresh it. Let's see. Oh, wait, it was right there and I refreshed it.
Or personal text messages.
Oh, no, do I have to do it again that I refreshed it? I should have just been patient. Now, how did I get to that? Let's see. Did I go to more? I did. Show transcript. All right, I'm just going to be patient this time. Oh my God, this is amazing. Go to 5:22:38. I probably could do that here too. Come on, computer. What are you doing? Wait, it's saying that it's not. Yes, I saw that. Truth. Isn't that amazing? Okay, what am I going to? 5:22:38 is right here. Oh my God, this is amazing. Have you always been able to do this? You could do this for a 9-hour live? Okay, well, I'm here. 38. What? How did we miss this? We were at 5:40 something. You guys, listen up.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
Okay. So, did you get a copy of this yet?
Yeah, we provided them to you guys.
Okay, so you already have a copy? So we'll give you another copy.
Okay, hi,
So-
sorry. There was somebody walking by that was friends with her, so I just wanted to look down for a second. I apologize.
My partner and I, we explained everything to her, what she can and
Did it
can't
go
do.
past it? Do I have to go back a little bit maybe? I think I might have, because I just looked at the bottom and it says, wait, so I have to go to 5:22:38. What was that? All right, let me go back a little bit before that. We'll go to 5:22:24. So let's listen for pregnant, you guys.
And we're going to dig into this because this next thing is really important.
Is she showing?
And I'm wiggling. I've had a lot of water and my mouth is still dry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm nervous.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
Okay.
Lauren is what?
Did you get a copy of this yet?
Yeah, we did.
What? Hold on. Now I need to go to the transcript because I seen it in the transcript, but I wasn't expecting that. What did it say? It says pregnant. I saw pregnant in the transcript. I don't know why. What do you have to hit transcript every freaking time? What's happening? It doesn't just show you? Oh, here it goes. It does. Okay, I should not. So wait, how do I search it? Toggle timestamps. What the hell does that mean? All right, I guess I'll just do it this way because I don't know what I'm doing yet. What do I have to get at 5:22? It's right here anyway. Okay, it says, Lauren and I'm pregnant. Okay, perfect. So did you get a copy of this? I heard that too. You guys, listen up. I'm going to go a little bit before it. So I'll go 7 seconds before it. Listen, you guys.
Water and my mouth is still dry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm nervous.
Oh wait, close.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
Lauren, I'm pregnant. Look, I got it. I did it. I'm nervous. Lauren, and I'm pregnant. What? What does that mean? What the heck? Oh my God, Jenny, are you kidding me? Please. Subscribing is so amazing. That's all I could ask for. But Jenny, make sure you turn on your, Harlot knows how to do it. Turn on your, what is it called? Your, anyway, when somebody donates a membership, it lets you be one of those people possibly, but you have to do something on it. I don't know. Harlot knows. I'm sure she'll let us know because she's amazing like that. Wait, what is happening? What is this pregnant thing? Oh my God, Kresha, what is this? I'm trying to look for you. Just go. Yeah, I did it. Okay. But wait, what does this mean? Do you guys think that? Should I do it again? Hold on. Let's hear it again.
I'm nervous.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
So is that what you guys hear? Wait, I'm going to slow it down because I do have it sped up because John was talking too slow. Yeah, I have it sped up a lot. So hold on. Let me go to normal.
I'm nervous.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
She said Lauren, and I'm pregnant. Oh my gosh. I'm slowing it down a little bit. Sometimes you hear more when you slow it down more. I literally slowed it down to half of what I just had it at because John was talking.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
So, did you get a copy of this yet?
Yeah, we provided.
Wait, when was this? How long ago was this, you guys? This was like back in, does it tell us? Okay, October 15th was the live stream. We would have seen it though, right? If she was. Wait, let me see what you guys are saying. I can't believe Dr. Vonda and I have such close names. That is so cool. Hit Control F. What does that do? Shut up. Oh my God. And then you said slow it down and I did that. That is so funny. Kresha. Hell, I had no idea. You guys, if you do Control F, it brings up a search box. I feel like I'm ancient. Oh my God. All right, let's listen once or twice more just to hear. Because I definitely heard that too. She definitely says, and I'm pregnant.
I'm nervous.
Lauren, and I'm pregnant.
And I'm pregnant. It sounds like he must have just turned on the body cam and she must have been saying something like something Lauren and then I'm pregnant. Is that what you guys get? You think it mistranslated the words? It probably did because wouldn't we have known by now? Oh, Barbara, good night, Barbara. I love you. Barbara, if you still hear me, you have to email me with whether you want a black shirt, a white shirt, what your size is, and where I can send it. All of my mods. I'm making you guys shirts, and they're really corny, and you can tell that they're homemade, but just know that each one took me about at least 30 minutes to do, but it's amazing. Look, you guys, if you're a mod, I want to send you this. Wait, is my thing up? Meanwhile, I probably have my picture off and I'm showing. Oh no, it's on. There you go. I made it, but wait, it looks really good far away, right? It says Dr. Vona approved because we always say Dr. Vona approved, and then it's got, the thing and then my signature, but it looks good from far away. Ready for a close up? The closer you get, the more homemade it is. Wait, hold on, let me get it. Do you see like the white on the inside of like the, because I printed it out and then I had to use an X-Acto knife because I don't even have like a, what are they called? The circuit or cricket or something. I ain't got one of them. But I have an X-Acto knife and a printer and I bought all the other stuff. But I need to get more shirts. So let me know, you guys, if you're one of my mods. And then what I'm going to do after I'm done making mods ones, then hopefully by then my skills will get a little bit better. This is the thing. I am connected to like TeePublic and all that stuff, but I ordered a shirt. Sarah ordered a few shirts. And literally, I got my shirt like 4 months after I got it. And Sarah got hers like 3 months after. And then 3 months after that, she got the other one. It was ridiculous. So I'm like, I'm just going to make some. And after that, we're going to start doing like giveaways. And even if it's homemade, it's a thought that counts. I'm still buying the stuff and making it. You know, if anything, sometimes that would probably mean more to me, even though that's just me trying to rationalize right now. But so, Kresha, what should we watch next? We got a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna close it up. I don't know. It's Kresha. I'm not even gonna read that one out loud. That was funny. I'm Grayson. It mistranslates. Oh, you think it says I'm Grayson? Let's re-listen and try to hear. So wait, I'll take this off so we can't see it. And then listen for I'm Grayson.
Sorry, guys. I'm nervous.
Lauren, and I'm Grayson.
And I'm Grayson. That's exactly what it says. Listen.
Lauren, and I'm Grayson.
That's exactly it.
Lauren, and I'm Grayson.
Oh my God. Thank God you said that though, because Calissa, because I so would have been like, oh, because I definitely heard, okay? It's definitely like, I definitely heard I'm pregnant. And the thing says I'm pregnant. But wait, you guys, do you want to know what just happened to us? What just happened to us, you guys, is what a man named Dr. John describes as confirmation bias. We all hear I'm pregnant, and then you see it in the transcript. And even though we have seen Grayson recently, and none of us have seen her pregnant, we were, not all of us, but a lot of us were like, damn, I heard it, which I totally was one of them. And then you see the wording, which is confirmation bias. The difference is the minute Calissa tells us that she thinks that it was misinterpreted and that it should say, this is Lauren and I'm Grayson, we were all able to re-listen to it and be like, shoo, like Kresha says, shoo, shoo, like, and I was able to be like, oh, that's definitely what it says. And that is the difference, right? Like, we're able to be like, oh yeah, it does say I'm Grayson. Where what Dr. John's doing tonight is, he's like, no, it doesn't, Calissa. Not only does it not say that, it says, I'm pregnant. Listen to it. Like, this is a crusade against me. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the difference here. So congratulations for all of us. And thank you so much, Calissa, for saying that, because hearing that I do hear I'm Grayson after that. But for the like minute or two that I thought it said I'm pregnant, I will say it did distract me from truth telling me that I'm going through perimenopause. Oh, I can't. But you guys, let's do this. How about we're going to stop here, I think. Even though there's still 96 people here. Why are you guys awake? What's happening? What's wrong with all of us? Why are we all awake? Is everybody going through perimenopause? I'm just kidding. That just makes me feel better. Oh my God, you guys, I'm a mess. I have no makeup on. My lipstick, I was telling people earlier, it's lip stain, and I washed my face already. I got a shower and all, which is why my bangs are down too. They only are down like for the few hours after I get a shower, and then they go up. But it's like stained. It was bright red earlier, and now it's like not bright red, but look, it doesn't come off. It's like stained. It's weird. So I have like not a lick of makeup on at all. And I'm like, you know what? Just go live. And I am so glad that I did, because you guys really did make my whole night. I can't even tell you. And Dr. Vonda, thank you so much for stopping in. That was really cool. And thank you for becoming a member, not just stopping in. You became part of us. And Crush is now part. Like, look at you guys. There's so many of us here that are like all part of. I seriously, like, the whole thing is green or blue. Okay? Oh, Barbara, you said I'm silly. I love you, Barbara. But you guys definitely make sure, if you're a mod, I love you dearly. I appreciate you dearly. Harlot, I don't know if you sent me your info yet, but don't forget to, all of you. And now you too, Explore Core. How about that? Just in time for one of my, I don't even know what I would call it. How far is Dr. John so far off target? Always. How is Dr. John so far off? This is the thing. Wait, you're making fish fillets and baked potato. I want a baked potato. Oh my God. Dr. Vonda, I'm so glad you'll be back. And I want to I would like to get to know more. Dr. Vonda, all I know, I asked everybody last night, I'm like, oh, it was like Dr. Vonda, because everybody was like, you and Dr. Vonda should be on panel together. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. But they didn't tell me if you're I don't know what they said. I don't know if you're a cop, if you do psychology stuff, I have no idea. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. But everybody was praising you. And I was like, that's amazing. I can't wait to meet her. What does she do? And nobody said it. They just were just saying how amazing you are. And I love Dr. Vonda. Dr. Vonda's the best. Oh my God, Dr. Vonda. Oh my gosh. And I was, that's amazing. I love that. I love that for you, Dr. Vonda. And maybe just by what Dr. John would call cognitive bias, people might be like, oh, Dr. Vona, that must be Dr. Vonda. She's amazing. So I'll subscribe to her too. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding, you guys. I had to pull another Dr. John thing in real quick. Oh, geez, you guys. I can't even tell you. Tonight was one of the most impactful lives for me. So thank you. It really was. I love baked potatoes. Me too. Whenever I go to Texas Roadhouse, I get the veg plate. Meanwhile, I go to a steakhouse and get the veg plate, and there's nothing veg about it, you guys. It's like the carb plate. Want to hear what I get? One of their rices. I get a salad, so there you go. But I get it loaded with eggs and cheese and ranch dressing and bacon bits and croutons. And then I get a loaded baked potato with butter. And oh my God, I'm so hungry now. And then you get one more. And my kids are usually like, Mom, can you bring me home rice? So sometimes I'll get extra rice for them. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want a plain loaded baked potato or if I want a sweet potato loaded potato. So sometimes I'll get one of each. Literally, you guys, it's probably the most unhealthy meal, but it's the most delicious thing ever. I'm like, why even get the meat? When they came up with a thing with just sides, I was like, this is literally right up my alley. I'm hungry too. Well, whose fault is it? Casey's? Casey, it's your fault that we're all hungry now because you're making baked potatoes. Sheesh. Yeah, we're all hungry. Now I want to eat something. Now I want to go make a baked potato. Oh, you know what I want to make right now? Pierogies. Ooh, I put them in butter. That's how I make them. I put butter in the pan and I put the pierogies until they're done. Just butter. Love to eat healthy, right? Oh, that's amazing. Oh, Casey, I'll eat the potatoes. But I put my in when I can. Oh. Wait, what's Sunday night? Are you going to be live Sunday night? Pressure. If so, I want to put it in my phone. I know that sounds so ridiculous, but I literally might be or might have one of the craziest schedules of anybody I've ever met. So I have to like put things in my phone so that I don't, if somebody needs me for something, I know it's already in my phone. What's Crush's channel? Can you put it in there, Cuff You, please? Or someone. I always go to Cuff You. Poor Cuff You. Cuff You, I feel like I need to send you 2 shirts. you do. I need to send you one for Discord and for this. But first I have to figure out another logo design that I could cut out with my X-Acto knife. Oh my God, Cuff You. Cuff You, thank you so much. You did not have to do that. Cuff You says, head over to my Discord. After the live, you will find all of the cases that I've approved, following, and much more. No membership required. Cuff You, you are a queen. Thank you. You did not have to do that. Thank you so much, Cuff You. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. And you guys, our Discord is so cool, and Cuff You has worked so hard on it. You can go to any of the cases there, and there is like everything. You don't even have to like Google the cases anymore, at least not the ones that we have on there that we cover. Why do I look like my hands are dead? Don't they look gray or something? I'm like, what's happening? I feel like I'm blue. Oh, it doesn't look like that in real life, so we're good. But Calissa, I'm so glad you found my channel too. I can't wait to get to know you better, Dr. Vonda. Dr. Vonda, I still don't know. Anyway, Dr. Vonda, we'll just catch up because I do want to get to know you too. Everybody speaks so highly of you. Same with you, Krisha. And if anybody has emailed me, I have not gotten to my emails yet. I usually get to them on Friday, but I didn't today because of all this crap and I don't want to cry again. So if you don't know, just go to the beginning where I cry. No, I'm kidding. Yes, Dr. Vonda does seem like an absolute sweetheart. See, Cuff You is so on top of it, I can't even tell you. And you guys, our Discord, I have to be honest with you, Cuff You had to like convince me to like just try it one more time because I've tried it a million times and it never seems to work out. I feel like they're like, I don't know, somebody will fight about something and then I feel bad and I'm like, just delete it. But Cuff You she's got it under control. She's amazing. Thank you, Cuff You. I don't know what I would do without you. Truth's been my very longest everything. So thank you, Truth. You're still my main bitch. Don't worry. I don't want you to come like cut me or something. I love you. And my Barbara Hall, I love you. You guys are the best. And Harlot, literally amazing. And even the mods that aren't on here, Sarah and Look the Squirrel, and even Mark the Shark. How am I going to give Mark the Shark a shirt? I feel like that shirt's a little girly, isn't it? Okay, then good, Krisha. Then that makes me feel good because that's really all I was saying it to was you because that's really who I was like looking for. But I'm glad because I did not want to miss an email from you. So that makes me feel better. But definitely make sure you do, even if it's just to like exchange phone numbers and like we don't have to have some 5-hour conversation type thing. Like I'm not one of them. We could talk for like 5 minutes. Oh my God, Barb, I know you're sleeping. But oh wait, Harlot's been trying to message me for a week? You have? Harlot, do me a favor and send me an email right now. And as soon as we hang up, I'll respond with my phone number. You're the only, and now Explore Core, you're in the loop too, but you were the only mod that I don't have the phone number to. So I would like to at least give you my phone number. Let's see. I don't really know how to do it. I've never done it before. Wait, let's see. Oh, your channel? Absolutely, you guys. Everybody go to all of these channels and make sure you subscribe. We all have to support each other. So if you're here and you're not subscribed, I beg you to please subscribe. It would really help me. It's because of all of you that I've been able to get as far as I have. So thank you. And please, everybody, make sure you hit like because I noticed that if you get like 100 likes, it puts you into the algorithm. And I got there last night and it was so cool. It felt really good. So please hit like if you can. Lots going on in the crime scene. Cuff You. Oh my God, there's so many. The one that I think that I'm feeling right now too is the Michael McKee, all of that. I think I did a pretty good behavior breakdown on him. I do. I should make it into like a video or something, like cut it out, like the part that I'm talking about. But I feel like I'm spot on because the more I get to know about it, the more I'm like, see? So there you go. Oh, you subscribe? Sky Painter, thank you. Oh my God. Oh, thank you guys. You always work nights and PM shifts, so just a night owl. Me too. It's crazy. But sometimes I have to wake up really early to go to work, and it's like, I'm like, oh, I somehow get the energy to do it though. You did too? Wow, thank you, Addie. Wow, you guys. Wow, thank you guys. I feel so honored. Wow, I don't want to cry again. I want to leave on like a good note. Oh, thank you so much, Kakola. I appreciate that. I felt like I was like locked in that night. So that was a good one. Yes, thank you. Yes, and definitely you guys go subscribe to Kresha and Dr. Vonda. I still can't believe there's a Dr. Vonda. And you're probably cool as shit because Dr. Vonda, Dr. Vona, I'm cool as shit. You must be cool as shit too. Since we're going with confirmation bias, you know what I mean? We might as well use it to our advantage. Yeah, no? Oh, you guys are the best. All right, you guys. So listen, it is 3:30 or 3:26 a.m. for me right now. I don't know what it is for you. Oh my God, truth. I just said that you were my main biatch, and now you're going to go to the bottom of the list if you keep telling me I had menopause. I'm just kidding. It's the truth. It's facts, I think. And I just can't get around to it. I'm like, no, I'm not. Because I don't know what that means. I don't know any of it. So you guys are going to have to teach me. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am so glad that I went live. Explore Core. Thank you. Yes. Explore Core sent a membership to Michelle. Michelle. Oh my God. It says, oh my God. Right, you guys. It says Michelle D. Mateus, right? But I looked down, I see Michelle, but then I looked down and I saw M-A-T-T and I was like, and then there's an E-I-S and I thought it said Matthias. I almost just had a heart attack. I apologize to you, Michelle, for just saying that. And I know that you are not a Matthias, that you are a D. Mateus. But do you guys see how when you look down real quick, you see M-A-T-T and then the I-E-S, and it's almost like, oh, geez. Oh my God, Sigma, what's up? How are you guys? Oh my God, Kathy, thank you so much for being here, Kathy. You were so cool tonight too. Roxy, thank you for being here. All of you guys. Cockwalby, oh my God, Cock, this just reminded me of something real funny, real funny. This is going to be funny. This will be the end of our thing. Ready for this one? So my husband is working at Rowan University. That's where I graduated with my doctorate. I taught there for like 10 years, all the things. I still have all of my like parking stuff, and they make the guys that work there park so far away because you're not like supposed to mingle with the students. The only reason I don't still teach there, honestly, is because it's so far away and I got other gigs way closer, so it just didn't make sense anymore. I could always go back though if I want. The point is, he was like, Jane, he's like, we're all standing there. He's like, we're all getting ready to start work. And he's a union iron worker. He's like, I turn around. He's like, and there's a wall of like all these names. He's like, so me and my buddy are like, yeah, they're probably like all the donators, like the big guys, because they have like cute, whatever, not cute, like cool plaques, whatever. So my husband's like, don't I look? He's like, the very first one I look at, the guy's name was, wait, I don't want to get it wrong. Richard Wacker, okay? Richard Wacker. He's like, so I looked at my partner and was like, yeah, look at Dick Wacker. He's like, and we just started dying laughing. My husband's actually extremely fun. So then he's like, a little bit later, he's like later in the day, he's like, we're going on break. He's like, and my partner sends me a picture. He's like, how come Rowan just named their new stadium? They built a stadium. It's like a huge college town. It's awesome. But they just built a stadium. Guess what this stadium's called? Richard Wacker Stadium. Dick Wacker Stadium. What? What? I was dying. I'm like, really? They went with Dick Wacker? What are the chances? Richard Wacker. Okay. Oh, your hubby's a union drywaller? Awesome. Nice. I love the union. So yeah, there you go. So we can end our fun night on Rowan University's brand new stadium, Richard Wacker Stadium. And I have to be honest, it takes me a minute, you guys, because I'm not always like, and I was like, huh? And he's like, Jane. He's like, Richard Wacker. And I was like, Rich Wacker. And he's like, no, Jane, Dick Wacker. I was like, oh my God, Dick Wacker. And I was dying. And then my daughter Gianna reminded me that I know I talk about her boyfriend sometimes, the one that does, oh, you guys, there's this burn things. I don't know if any of you live in major cities, but the other night somebody said something about my green shirt. And then my daughter heard it and she told me that burns, it's like, I think I told you about the Tommy carts, the ones that are like on wheels and they're at like all the, not all of them, but they're at a lot of the construction that you see. So they do a thing. They have like an Instagram, I think it is. I'm going to have to ask Gianna to be sure. But it's Burns Trash something. But if you ever see like one of the Tommy carts and you take pictures and you put it, like you post it, they send you shirts. So there you go. You could get your own green shirt or whatever color you want. But I just wanted to tell you that too. But yeah, Dick Wacker, that's what we're going to end on tonight. Isn't that funny though? Dick Wacker. And then we have Cock Wobbly. But anyway, so Gianna's boyfriend, she reminded me that his brother's name is Richard and their last name's Burns. So he's Richard Burns. I was like, oh, that's a cool. And then I was like, oh, I like thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, I could do that one in my head. Don't be like Dr. John. Don't be a Richard Cranium. That's so funny. You guys are funny. All right, you guys. I am going. Oh my God, people are writing I want a Dick Wacker shirt, and the mods had to go in and accept it because, and then Dick Burns, they have to go in and accept it because I guess YouTube is like kind of flagging it. That is a riot. That's so fun. You guys, we're getting Dick Wacker shirts. Or Dick Burn shirts. We'll get. I'm dead. It sounds like an STI. It definitely does, doesn't it? They both do. Dick Wacker and Dick Burns. Oh, I would die. But we'll have to do it. Guess what? I think the name of the trash place or whatever, like that he owns, I think it's called, now that I think about it, Richard something Burns, like whatever the middle name is. I don't know the middle initial, but it's like Richard something Burns trash thing or whatever. So the name of this trash business that's like all over, like they do real well, is Dick Burns. It just occurred to me. Wow. You want a shirt that says Dick Burns? I do too. That is so funny. Oh yes, we have to get Dick Burns shirts. And now that I just realized that the name of the company is Dick Burns, I'm definitely texting my daughter when we hang up. She's right upstairs. I'll probably just go upstairs and tell her. But I'll also, I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow at some point. My husband wants to go to the movie, so I don't know what we're going to see. He said it's something about, I don't know, something, and they get 24 hours to figure out something about a murder. I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but I was like, absolutely. Stadium tees with Dick Burns. Send one to DM. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, but the stadium one that one's Dick Wacker. Dick Burns is my daughter's boyfriend's family business. We'll come up with a shirt. We'll get a good one. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, and thank you, mods. And mods, make sure you get in touch with me And Kresha, get in touch with me if you want. And welcome all of our new members. And I appreciate you guys more than I can ever, ever, ever articulate, as Dr. John would say. Good night, you guys.